All right, hello YouTube. Welcome to Geekery Abides, episode 16. Man,
16 already?
chugging along. I know.
Jeez.
Feels like we should still be under 10, but it is not the case. So welcome. We are getting ready to go live for number 6. Well, we are live. Getting ready to start episode 16. Let's go ahead and hit the intro and get rolling.
He who is ashamed of his geekery has forgotten the face of Stan Lee.
You the proud, the geeky.
This is the podcast, Geekery Abides.
Hello and welcome to Geekery Abides. This is our geek podcast, and I am Tad, and with me as always is Peter. We are here ready to dive into our first ever two-parter. I mean, it'll be a multiple-parter eventually, but
Yeah.
it's the first time we've continued a conversation into multiple episodes.
Yep.
It will not be the last.
It will not be the last.
we hope,
Depending on shows that come out. I mean, I'm assuming we're going to do something with Loki, aren't we?
I mean, possibly, yeah.
It's Loki.
Yeah. Ultimately, we kind of knew this kind of thing would be coming. We just, I don't know, but I guess we didn't have any plan. We didn't even have any plan through the rest of this year.
Yeah.
But Ahsoka obviously changed everything.
It was a curveball, that's for sure.
Yeah. Although we should have seen it coming.
I know.
I think I was so focused on theatrical stuff that I was just like
We didn't pay attention
overlooked
to shows.
streaming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Ahsoka is probably one of my most anticipated things going into the year. So, we're here for episode 16. Let's go ahead and dive in. First of all, if you want to email us, you can do that to either of us directly. You can either do that at peter@geekeryabides.com or Tad, T-A-D-D, at geekeryabides.com. We host these alternating. I get the odd episodes. Peter gets the even episodes. Obviously, these next four, the last one and the next three, including this one, kind of don't work the same way since it's all Ahsoka.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, that's what we do. So if you have any feedback, if you have any ideas for shows, if you have any whatever it is,
Comments, concerns, donations.
yeah, anything you might have, send it to either of us, and we will respond in kind.
I gotta sit up for a second. My shirt's not showing fully, properly.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and dive over to what have you been watching, reading, playing. Always a fun little thing. What have we been up to?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Ted Lasso and Ahsoka, that's it.
Okay.
I have not been watching a ton.
What are you thinking of Ted Lasso?
Uh,
Season 3.
It was good.
Oh, you finished it?
No.
Okay.
I had to stop. My wife's streamer guy is doing an uncapped subathon, so he has literally been going since September 1st. He has not stopped his stream once since then, and that's just constantly on. But we stopped when Ahsoka is on. We've watched Ahsoka together. Luckily, we've been able to. We missed the first 2 episodes together, but we were able to. No, we missed episode 3 together, so I had to watch that by myself. And so she had to text me if she had any questions. Or maybe it was episode 1 and 2. She could
It was
correct
1
me.
and 2.
Oh, yeah, because I talked to you about
Yeah,
it, like
yeah.
how I would do it. So
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you're finally watching Ted Lasso. I really enjoyed that
Yeah.
show a lot. So,
And it's the final season, too, so I want to get through it before. Nothing's been spoiled for me yet. I'm lucky. Knock on
who's
wood.
your favorite character?
Ted.
Ted?
I mean, who doesn't like Ted?
Roy
He's like,
Kent is the best.
He is
sir.
the most lovable fucking human being ever in the history of all film.
Roy Kent is amazing. He's my favorite.
I love Coach.
Coach Beard is pretty
I
awesome.
love Coach Beard.
And neither of them have punched Baby Yoda. So
This is true. This is true.
I just had a reel come across from that episode.
I did too. I sent it to my wife. I forgot that Baby Yoda bites him.
Bit him. Yeah. He's biting me. The fucker's biting me. And then what about reading and playing?
I finished book 4 of Harry Potter, So the Goblet of Fire, and I started The Order of the Phoenix, which is book 5, and then proceeded to stop after like one day of listening to it because Holly by Stephen King came out on Tuesday, so I have been listening to that nonstop. And in fact, I am down under 5 hours left between driving to and from your house yesterday and driving to and from your house today. I'm down a ways.
Yeah, I'm let's see, I was under 5 hours already. Where am I at now? 3 hours 11 minutes.
Oh, you're way even farther than me.
I've been thrown on a Ghost Recon Wildlands and then just turning the audio way down and then playing Holly off my phone.
Just bopping some drug cartel guys while listening to
Holly.
To Holly.
Yep, indeed. That's been my go-to. So I'm going back where it's playing. So reading and watching got an interesting thing. So of course watching Ahsoka, and then I also have been diving back into Strange New Worlds. I'm still on season 1. Season 2 is out now. Star Trek.
Okay.
Watching that, I'm enjoying it for the most part. But something struck me, and I actually bought these books a while back. But
Okay.
I bought the Hannibal Lecter trilogy.
Oh,
So-
the original
Red
trilogy.
Dragon, Silence of the Lambs, and then Hannibal. Read those a shitload in high school. Read them all the time. I'd never done the audiobooks. So I bought them a few months ago, and then like a few things have come up that have stopped me from actually hitting them.
Yeah, you had an Oppenheimer book, a new
Oppenheimer,
Stephen
Stephen
King
King. There's been a number of things. So I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm diving in. So Red Dragon, Red Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal. I started, and then I was interrupted
Holly.
because Holly, of course, came out. So the Holly Day got me moved over to there. So I am in the middle of Hannibal currently, but at the same time, I decided after I finished Red Dragon, I paused and I went and watched Michael Mann's classic Manhunter. Haven't watched that in ages.
I still have never seen that.
Then I watched Red Dragon. Then I read Silence of the Lambs. And I watched Silence of the Lambs. So Hannibal, once I finish that, I will also watch Hannibal. And I believe I'm then going to dive in to the show and actually go through and finish the 3rd season, which I've never watched.
Which you never watched because they canceled.
Yeah, but and the third
There
season
was a hope for
the 3rd season is Red Dragon too. So
Yeah, and
my favorite story, my
Yeah.
favorite of the 3 books it covers. So like I'm really excited to finally watch it. But that's and I think after all that I will actually dive in and read that last book that he did.
How was the audiobook for them?
Pretty incredible.
Were
Red Dragon, I don't know who the guy is, but his voice is just very deep and bellowing, and it just worked out really well. And then
I was gonna say I have 5 credits and I have my yearly Audible thing
And then
re-ups in December. So
Silence of the Lambs is Frank Muller.
is it really?
It is Frank.
Oh,
It is indeed Frank Muller. I believe there's actually, be careful, because there's actually a abridged audiobook.
Boo Earns.
But the thing that's tempting, though, is if I remember correctly, the abridged one is read by Kathy Bates, if I recall correctly. So I was slightly perturbed, because that would be awesome to have Kathy Bates read it
Silence of
for
the
me.
Lambs, 10 hours. Does it tell me who reads it?
It should show it there, but yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been reading, watching. It's been a lot of fun. It was fun to really watch Manhunter and Red Dragon back to back after reading the book.
It's Frank. I have the right one
All
on my
right.
wish list. Okay,
Frank, yeah.
Phew. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing, and once Holly is finished up, I will cycle back to Hannibal, read that, and then jump on into the movie.
Oh, the one thing I didn't say is I didn't say playing. I did get my 7 Days to Die game back up and going, a new map and everything like that. So loving that. But I might be playing some Borderlands tonight, depending on.
Yeah.
They're doing some event thing over the next couple months where like certain areas are going to have special, never before released loot, which is a huge thing in the game. Is loot.
Yeah.
And it's random every time you not open up the same chest and find the same weapon every single time you play through, like in like Fallout or one of those other type of games. It's completely random. So
Yeah.
yeah, my wife's been sending me a bunch of codes because they have codes that you can use, and it gives you like extra loot or extra stuff and everything like that. So I'm like,
Yeah.
so actually right before I left today, I'm like, Steam Borderlands 3 download. So it should be ready for me by the time I get home. My wife should be keeping an eye on that for me. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Indeed.
And she says in the chat, my wife actually says, watching Ahsoka, and then the streamer Jeremy Dooley is his name, and then Ted Lasso, and then she's playing Spyro, the Reignited trilogy. It has its 25th birthday today. Came out 25 years ago on PlayStation. So they had it on sale on Steam, so I got that.
25 years ago was like 1980 something. Like,
I know, right?
what are you talking about?
We're 25, right? Like that's when we were born. And then she's also been playing Power Wash Simulator and reading 50 Shades of Grey.
Lydia, who's your favorite Ted Lasso character?
Oh, that's good.
Because I mean, it's Roy fucking Kent, sir. He's a treasure.
He's great. Don't get me wrong. He's great. He's on my top 5 list. That's for sure.
Oh man,
The owner is pretty great too. I always forget her name.
Yeah, Rebecca.
Yeah, I love her too, and her assistant.
Where are you at in the series? In the season?
They just lost to the bitch face.
Nate.
Yeah.
Nate's team.
Spoiler for something that came out a few months ago, but yeah.
She says Keeley and Roy Kent is amazing as well.
Oh yeah,
So,
Keeley.
yeah.
She does love Keeley. I thought I was gonna fucking hate Keeley the first time I met her.
Yeah.
You know, I thought I was gonna hate her. Dude, I adore her. She's great.
Yeah, there's a lot. Everyone in that show is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Even Jamie Tart came around.
I know, he's such a good guy.
When you're watching the first season, do you ever think you'd like Jamie Tart?
No. Well, it's also the first season. Watching the first season, I never thought I would hate Nate, and here we are.
It's true. I always was suspicious of him a little bit. Not like I knew how far it would go, but there's always like these small hints that they would throw out that he was kind of a prick. That I was just like, can I trust this guy?
Yeah.
I don't know. They did a good job of it. They kept it subtle. All right, so jumping over to news. The first one, the Nolan Batman trilogy, is coming back to theaters.
Really?
For Batman Day.
Nice.
So September 16th at select theaters if you want to go see any of those movies.
Oh shit! I'm busy that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the September? What are you doing?
Our company thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, our company does that thing once a year, and I got that thing good.
So yeah, okay. Well, yeah, on Batman Day.
On Batman Day.
Why is it Batman Day? Is that like a publishing thing or is it an in-universe thing?
It is the publishing date, if I remember.
Okay,
right.
because everything's different. Some people, like Star Trek Day, has nothing to do with the actual our universe. It's the date of first contact in universe became Star Trek Day. So and everything does their days differently, and so I'm always curious what defines a day for a nerd property.
75th anniversary of the appearance of Batman in Detective Comics in 1939. Also, the day was chosen because it coincided with San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that went in Rome.
Subsequently, Batman days have always been the third Saturday in September, so it's not a day.
So it's not even.
It doesn't move day of the week and everything like that. It's just the third Saturday in September is what it's according to Wikipedia anyway.
Okay,
and it didn't start until
recent. It was
July 14th.
It was
July 2014.
Yeah, it was for Batman versus Superman.
Yeah,
it was.
They did it July 23rd, and then after that, it's been the third Saturday in September ever since then.
Okay.
So what you're saying is next Saturday I need to be wearing my Batman gear, always.
I mean, you could always go to a movie that night because Batman Day would be an interesting day to go see a movie as a husband and wife.
No, that's where bad things happen, and I have one child. Tad, we are not making a Batgirl.
So how much do you?
How could you? I'm your best friend, and you want me to die?
Oh, it's for the greater good.
Oh.
How can this be for the greater good? Shut it!
How much do you hate Alien versus Predator?
How much did I hate Alien versus
Just,
Predator?
Do you hate it in general?
No.
No?
I didn't. A lot of people hated it because, they're fans of one or the other.
And it was PG-13.
And it didn't. That's one reason why you hated it. I didn't mind the movie. I thought it had a good premise and a good everything like that. I mean, it's not the best now that I've come to watch other Aliens and Predator movies and stuff like that.
So gear up for hating it.
Okay.
This next one here. Apparently James Cameron and Ridley Scott almost teamed up for an Alien movie.
Oh, son of a bitch.
That would have had James Cameron developing, writing it, and then Ridley Scott would have directed it. So that would have been Alien and Aliens directors coming together for one Alien film. But Alien
Dude,
versus
that's a power couple if I've ever heard of one.
yeah, dude. It's seriously. I mean,
Good Lord.
Yeah, serious. So I have some quotes here. Cameron says, "I don't remember the timing exactly, but I might have been making The Abyss at the time, also for Fox. We came up with the idea is doing Alien 5, which is weird. They never did a fourth one. And at one point, I pitched that I would write it and produce it, and Ridley would direct it. And we had lunch talking about this, and we were in violent agreement. And then nothing happened."
Oh.
Then I have another quote. "What happened was Fox went ahead with Alien versus Predator, and I says, I don't recommend that. You're going to ruin the franchise. It's like Universal doing Dracula versus Werewolf, and then I lost interest in doing Alien movies after they made that movie."
Oh.
And also, we don't have a quote from Ridley, but Ridley actually was looking also at doing this movie, and the reason he ended up going and doing the Prometheus like reboots was because of Alien versus Predator. He's actually there. I didn't grab the quote, but there's a quote from him where he's just like, yeah, he's like, once they made that piece of shit Alien versus Predator, he's like, the only thing you could do is go and reboot the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Because whatever. So
Is Prometheus a reboot?
yeah.
Oh, it is?
It's like, yeah, it's a complete prequel. It's you kind of through the course of those movies, you see like the creation of the aliens.
I've never watched those.
Those are good. Good stuff for the most part.
All I know is the scientist doesn't know how to run left or right from the memes. That's the only thing I know about that movie.
Oh, good Fassbender role too.
Michael Fassbender's in it?
Yeah.
I like Michael Fassbender.
He's awesome. Yes, so next up, Disney is doing more shuffling of release dates.
Again?
Because of the strike, most likely. So X-Men 97, that was supposed to be coming out in 2023, is now moved to 2024.
This is directed at the studio people. Pay your fucking people.
Yeah.
Come on.
Agatha, Darkhold Diaries, has now been moved to fall 2024. I think that was supposed to be early 24 or late 23. Yeah. And then
wait, Agatha and what?
Agatha, the Darkhold Diaries.
Oh, that's the
Subtitle.
continuation of the title. Okay.
Echo has been moved to January of 2024.
Wait. What? I thought Echo got canceled.
Mm-mm. No, I think they're going to drop them all at one time, though.
Jesus.
So, What If Season 2 has been moved to holidays 2024.
Bah! I loved What If, dude.
Yeah.
I did. I really liked What If.
Oh, you know what? I actually don't know if I have a slide for this, but I think I have something saved. Do I? Let me see. If I do...
Dude,
no.
I need the Jeopardy theme.
No, I don't. There was a tweet that I saw that actually I was going to make a slide for it. Let me see if I can... Yeah, okay, so I actually found it. There has been a reveal of what Season 2 of What If is going to be.
Go on.
Would you be interested? I don't have a slide, but What If Season 2 has been revealed? They are. What if Gamora killed Thanos?
Oh, shit!
What if Captain Carter finds Hydra Stomper, continued from Season 1? What if the Tesseract landed in Haudenosaunee Confederacy before the colonization of America, which is the introduction of the new hero, Kahori, which I think is a indigenous hero. Next, what if Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne fought the Red Guardian during the 1980s from Black Widow? What if Yondu delivered Star-Lord to Ego? What if Happy Hogan saved Christmas? Iron Man 3. I don't know exactly what that means.
He tries to save Christmas, and he
Yeah, I don't remember.
He messes up somehow. I can't remember.
What if Wanda had grown up watching musicals instead of sitcoms?
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, that is going to
Oh, my wife is going to love that one.
That is going to be really fun.
Wanda's her favorite, so that's great.
I mean, it's a wonderful character to have a favorite. I mean, her dad is my favorite, but I do love her too, just by proxy.
Yeah.
What if Odin and Hela had faced Wenwu? I'm not sure. Is that someone we've seen before?
I don't know Wenwu.
I'm
going to Google Wenwu.
Oh, that's the guy that's Mandarin's dad, or that's the Mandarin, I guess. That's his other name. I knew it was something we probably had seen before. So
we have seen him.
Yeah, it's Mandarin, Shang-Chi's dad.
Okay, the Mandarin is Iron Man 3, isn't it?
No. Oh yeah, but that was all a phony.
Oh, the real Mandarin is the 10 rings.
Yeah.
Okay, 10 rings.
Yes, so him. What if Odin...
I don't think he actually goes by Mandarin, does he?
Yeah.
Does he?
They talk about him constantly as Mandarin in that.
No, that's why he goes and gets Trevor, because he's like, hey, why'd you call by my name?
Yeah.
That's right.
So what if Odin and Hela went against him?
Shit, that'd be a showdown.
And then the last one, what if Avengers had fought Surtur,
Which one's
the
Surtur?
large demon with Ragnarok, the one that Hulk
Oh,
tries to jump
shit.
at?
They're fucked.
So that's allegedly. I guess we can call that as a rumor, but I completely forgot to make a slide for that. But I saved the tweet specifically, put it in the notes, but I forgot. So
Excellent.
That is what if season 2.
Awesome.
And then the last one, Ironheart, has been completely taken off the schedule. So
I think a lot of people didn't like the idea of that show. So
I don't know what that means there. So next up, some bad news for horror fans. Exorcist, The Believer, has been moved up a week because of Taylor Swift. Because they are putting a Taylor Swift concert in theaters, and it is bumping movies out of theaters.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to compete with it, which is nonsense.
That tour for her is making so much goddamn money.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
For lots of people. Like I saw someone apparently resold a ticket in Atlanta for like $170,000. I'm just like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
It's unreal.
It is indeed nuts.
That's a bummer because Friday the 13th was the perfect day to go see an Exorcist movie.
Oh yeah, indeed. Next up, Giancarlo Esposito is potentially
him.
going to the DCU. And this is not taken down as a rumor because there is actually a quote from him. And he says, I have been talking to James Gunn about the possibilities of being in a movie. So who knows? It could happen soon. So let's just talk. We know that a Superman movie's on the way. We know a Batman movie is on the horizon. 2 Batman movies.
Yeah.
Where would you put him if you had to put him in
I mean,
Batman?
he would make Batman? Oh, I had a Superman answer.
Go on. I mean, you could say that
Dude,
too.
Lex
but,
Luthor.
I mean, yeah.
That's like the obvious one, but also wouldn't it be awesome if we got him in a good role? What if he's the leader of the newspaper? Lawrence Fishburne played him in the Man of Steel one.
Yeah, I just blanked.
Come on, Superman fan.
J. Jonah Jameson stuck in my goddamn head. He's a menace.
Daily Planet.
Yeah.
Not the Daily Bugle.
Yeah, Daily Planet editor. God damn it! And I've been reading Perry White.
Yeah,
J. Jonah Jameson is always.
I can see.
That was actually
there.
That was going to be my pick for him. It's just because I think he has given out some talk that he maybe doesn't want to be playing villains all the time.
Exactly. So I'm trying to think good. If he's good in Batman, Gordon. Oh, he'd be a fantastic Gordon.
Yeah.
He'd be right up there with the likes of
You have something I want.
You have something I want. Give me the Joker without killing him. You know that. Absolutely, he'd be fantastic as a Gordon.
Yeah.
If villain,
it's hard not to just put him in as Luthor because that would be a killer.
No, Batman.
No, I know. I'm just saying from my
Oh
perspective.
yeah, dude, he'd be a fucking great Luthor.
He would. And I know where he's coming from. I know he's a talented actor, so I would love to see him as a good guy.
Yeah,
but my God, him as a Luthor
would be amazing.
That would be some scene chewing.
That would be amazing.
There.
A bad guy in Batman, like one of the Rogues Gallery. I would put him as. Let me think. A little bit older.
Freeze
would be amazing.
And that's not even a full villain.
Then it's not a villain. Yeah, especially if you do like the tragic backstory with Nora and everything like that.
Yeah.
He's just trying to save his wife.
So in that case, would you put him in the Batman 2 or would you put him in what is the name of the new?
The Brave and the Bold?
Yeah. Which one would you put him in?
If he's Freeze, I'd put him in Batman 2.
Yeah.
Which supposedly has a rumor. I don't know if you heard about this.
We may have. I have a rumor.
I have a rumor. I've heard a rumor about it too. Go ahead.
But no, that's not next on my list.
Okay.
Next on my list is Arlene Sorkin passed away at 67. The Harley Quinn, the original Harley Quinn voice actor. So I know it doesn't entirely make sense, but
Good night, sweet prince.
Good
princess.
Good night, sweet clown princess of crime.
Yes, indeed. So that yes,
She is amazing. She is the reason that Harley Quinn is Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah, she would never have moved beyond just being a second-rate character they created for that cartoon if it wasn't for her.
No, the character was entirely modeled after something that she.
No, but I'm just saying
as.
that her performance is the only reason that Harley moved on to such.
Oh,
success.
yeah.
I mean, how often do they just create some small side characters in these cartoons and they never really pan out?
I mean,
to like
watch the first 5 minutes of Lego Batman, and you'll see all these startup characters that they started up: Kite Man, Whale Man,
Yeah.
Condiment King,
Yeah.
Clock King.
But
You know,
a
all
lot of
those
that,
ones.
that's the comic books because the whole man thing is just straight classic 1940s and 50s comics.
But Harley Quinn is such such a breath of fresh air for an original character, and it
Yeah.
didn't come until the animated series.
And that, as I said, it's probably one of the biggest, newest additions to the Batman genre.
Yep.
I think. Like
I think it's down. It's Harley Quinn number 1, and it's Damian Wayne number 2.
as I was saying, because especially with her, she has her own movie and everything. She's a big fucking character.
No,
so.
she's had 3 movies. Let's be perfectly honest. Suicide Squad are just Harley Quinn movies.
Yeah, it's
Let's be.
it's pretty much true. So next up, Twilight of the Dead has a director. We've been talking about this. This is Romero's final zombie movie.
What is it called? Like a legacy film where it's after he's passed and stuff.
Yeah,
like that?
so he had written the treatment. He intended this to be his last zombie movie.
Yeah.
Not that he knew he was dying, but more of just like he wanted to put a period.
case.
Put a period. No, he just wanted to put a period on.
Yeah.
And he actually had some quotes back in the day where when The Walking Dead was at its height, and he's like, "What kind of world is this? That I can't get $30-40 million, which is almost nothing in movie money.
No.
To make a zombie movie when I'm the one that invented zombies, basically, when it's the biggest thing. So this is the movie he wanted to make. He did unfortunately pass away, but he always wanted this to be his final period at the end of the sentence of the thing that he created.
Yeah.
His widow has worked along with some screenwriters to flesh out his treatment to a full script.
Right.
They have now signed a director. His name is Brad Anderson. And he did Session 9, is what he's most famous for. And we have a quote from him. He says, George Romero's 1968 The Night of the Living Dead may have been the first real horror movie I ever saw. And its shock value, its keen social relevance, and even the means by which it was made were all hugely inspirational to me. This, too, is a zombie movie with limbs flying and heads rolling.
Yes.
But one that is also about social transformation, one that asks the question, what is it to be human? It is also a horror movie with heart and, dare I say, hope. So he's saying the right things there. That's all sounding very Romero-esque. So very happy to see that moving along. So next up, old Billy Boy, Skarsgård. His movie Crow reboot has now been purchased by Lionsgate.
Is it really? Yay!
Yes. And the caveat to all this is this film has already been filmed.
Has it really?
It is in the can.
So they're probably looking for something to fill in while there's the strike.
Lionsgate buying this could potentially be something that can come out within the next year, potentially.
Wow.
Because strike would have nothing to do. Well, unless publicity might be a thing. But yes, I'm fairly intrigued. I'm guarded because I think the original
remake. Yeah,
I think the original is just one of the all-time bangers, cult
it's
classic.
It's damn near a perfect movie.
But yeah, Billy Boy is an interesting choice.
That's the reason why I'm like, all right, I will give Skarsgård the benefit of the doubt here.
And ultimately, it's like we've always said on the Stephen King realm, right? When it's based on a written word, or in this case, a comic book, it's not really a remake as much as it is a readaptation. It's somebody else taking up that source material and saying, I want to try my hand at this.
This isn't someone taking an original movie like
the
shirt, Scream.
Yeah.
And someone remade Scream, well, that's remaking that movie.
Yeah.
But if you're taking...
But if it's The Exorcist that was
the
based
Lord
off
of the
a
Rings,
novel,
or if we're taking Lord of the Rings, that's based off of a book.
Yeah.
Well, what if someone wanted to make a bigger, deeper version? I mean, hell, they're doing it with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And people are all up in arms about that, but I'll tell you right now, the movies left stuff out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's not in the movies that's in the book that makes the book that much better.
Yeah.
They also got things right in the movies that the book didn't do. So
yeah.
I like your way of thinking about that, and I think people need to stop being like, well, you can't redo it. We've had this discussion about Stephen King with The Shining.
Yeah.
We can't redo The Shining. It's perfect. It's like, is it? Could we do a modern version of this and add a little bit more to it?
I would say, yeah, and we won't go too deep, but I'll say it's perfect as a horror movie, but it's a terrible adaptation at the same time.
Absolutely it is.
So next up is the rumor that
if you want to know more about that, check out Dark Tower Palaver, our other podcast.
The rumor I have is that Dick Grayson is coming to Batman 2.
And they have an age.
Yes.
13
Indeed.
or 14,
13.
I can't remember. 13. Which
so
is
what do you think of that?
Never been done before on film, and I am fucking all about it. Give me a young Robin. Give me the boy wonder. We don't have that. We never had that.
Yeah.
Absolutely sign me up for that. Fuck yes. Hook it to my veins. And if we're going to go bigger and badder in the Batman 2, where we're talking about having 2, maybe even 3 villains,
Yeah.
you need the Boy Wonder.
Which they did that with the first movie, and they did it beautifully. Right?
Absolutely.
There was multiple villains involved, and we were always told about Riddler and Penguin and Catwoman, but nobody said anything about Falcone being like a major part of the movie.
A major part.
We all just focus on the Rogues Gallery
Yeah.
stuff, so it's just like generally the rule of thumb is that you can't have too many villains; you're going to ruin it. But I would say Matt Reeves has proven that.
He knows how to juggle it.
Yeah, whatever he wants to do, I'm going to trust that he can do
Exactly.
it. So.
Exactly. Same. Matt Reeves, you got a blank check from me to do whatever you want. I'm there for it. Opening day.
Yeah.
Unless it's been rescheduled, I have a countdown.
I haven't seen anything about scheduling.
755 days, 2 hours, 13 minutes, and 49 seconds.
Oh.
Yes, I have the Batman 2 Part 2 counter ever since they announced its date for October 3rd, 2025. So
the last one here is a great segue into our main story.
okay,
Our main topic.
main topic.
So the last one here is news. Ahsoka, Part 5, next week's episode.
Directed by Dave Filoni.
Second and final Filoni-directed episode of this season is actually coming to theaters.
What?
Very select theaters, unfortunately.
Not anywhere near us.
Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Los Angeles, New York, Orlando, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Seattle, and D.C. Coming to theaters September 12th. Also, it is I don't even know if they were even selling tickets. I think it was more of a giveaway, and they were pretty much sold out immediately.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so something big.
We're going to get something.
Yeah, we also know it's the longest episode. Well, they haven't revealed all of the run times, but there's one guy that has always guessed, and for some reason he's always dead on. I'm sure he has some sort of leak. He doesn't have the tail end of the series, but this one's supposed to be like right around 50-something minutes. So it's gonna be a long episode. But yeah, they're screening it theatrically.
Just hook it to my veins!
I don't know what we're getting, dude. I am excited. We can't get that far though,
No,
because we have to
gotta talk about 3 and 4.
3 and 4. But let's go ahead. So we are talking Ahsoka, Part 3 and 4. I gotta say part, because that's what they're actually calling it.
Yep.
Not chapters, not books, not whatever they've called it in every other show. It's not even episodes, which is nice because episodes is it's hard to say episode 3 and 4 without thinking about Revenge of the Sith and New Hope. So
The
I'm
funny
glad
thing
they're
is,
not
I
calling
have them in my notes here. I have them put down as episode. Just
That's why I think that's why I had been calling it, but I
it's
realized.
just meant to be.
But I realized,
episodes.
but that's
It's
what
Star Wars.
Like when it comes up on the screen, it says Part 4,
Yeah.
or in this case, Part 3, Time to
What was
Fly.
it? Time to Fly. That's what the title was.
All right, so we're diving in here. We talked about the first 2 episodes last time. Let's go ahead and dive right in. We start off here with Hugh Yang training Sabine. Mm-hmm. This is an interesting scene here with Hugh Yang seeing what he can do mechanically. I love his attitude too. Just
you suck.
He is the best, dude.
You suck.
I love it. It's like everything from the early 2000s. All those like mean British people they put on all the fucking talent shows or cooking shows or whatever. They're just like, let's make a droid like that. And like honestly, he's 25,000 years old. Do you think he gives a fuck about someone's feelings?
No. He's also probably learned in that 25,000 years that sometimes that's what a certain stubborn type of personality needs, is that kick in the ass. You know, you try to push them down.
Yeah.
And they push back harder, which raises themselves up.
Maybe. That's what I thought in the first couple episodes. But this episode, especially when Ahsoka calls him out on like, you really told her that? And he's like, yeah, it's true. Like,
it's true.
And so I think that's the point where he would have been like, yeah, I'm trying to inspire her or something. So I'm like, I don't think he's trying to inspire her, man. I think he's legit just telling her the truth.
He's just a dickbag.
he's just an asshole. Let's just also think as we're watching this, Hugh Yang almost certainly trained Yoda on the lightsaber. That is mind-boggling.
He trained people thousands of years before Yoda.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yoda's only 900 years old, 800 years old, somewhere in that range, 800 to 900 years old. So it's like 25,000 years. Yeah, that's
long.
Yeah,
time.
he's potentially trained generations of Yodish Force goblins.
Force goblins.
Yeah, so I mean, if you have any notes too, just jump in. I think I'm gonna try to go in order as much as possible, but
Okay.
I've just got notes all over the place. So
I thought the training session was amazing with Ahsoka, with the speed. Still seeing with her that she has such talent as well as adaptivity with the Force to be able to move that fast, and a Mandalorian not being able to detect her.
yeah,
It's not like this is just some apprentice, some junker kid who was rescued off of a scrap line who has Force sensitivity. This is a Mandalorian, basically nobility,
Yeah, from a
who has
mo-
been fighting her entire life.
yeah. And in Rebels, we saw her being trained by some of the best Mandalorians and Jedi.
She was trained by Kanan.
Yeah, she's being trained by Kanan as well.
Yeah,
So
and Ezra too.
yeah,
So it's not like she hasn't gone toe to toe with Darth Maul a couple times.
Yeah.
Or with Inquisitors or Vader or they've run across everyone in Rebels and everything like that. For her still to get the jump on it. And then also I think you're the one that sent me, was it the reel or was it a picture where it's like Hu Yang had 4 lightsabers? It's like, oh god, it's another Grievous.
waiting for him to do the spider crawl.
You know,
I love that crawl.
I was just waiting for
That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Blind fighting, obviously a huge callback to A New Hope. But I think this is done in such a fresh way that, because I feel like there's been a few times so far in the Disney era where there's been things that are so on the fucking nose with like throwbacks that I rolled my eyes.
Chewie getting his medal.
That was bad. Dr. Evazan in Rogue One saying the exact same fucking lines he said in A New Hope was fucking garbage. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen in Star Wars, to be honest. Like, that shit bothers me. It always has. You and I both read the books back in the day, and there's nothing I hated more than when you'd have that one small character, Imperial character, that had like one line in the movies, and then they show up in the book 10 years later, and guess what? They say that one fucking line
say that
again.
line.
It's like, are they a Pokemon that can only say the one fucking line? So having Evazan and Pondo Baba show up, and then Evazan gives the same lines, I'm like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah,
So
come on.
There's been some dumb stuff, but this one, when she picked up the helmet, I'm like, oh god, don't go to New Hope.
How am
here.
I supposed to see with the shield down?
Yeah,
That
but
kind of thing.
then it didn't, and it was completely fresh. It was done completely differently. You're not using a remote. This just felt super, and I'm trying not. I guess, sorry, I don't mean to be too negative. It's one of those things that always makes me roll my eyes when it's just like, oh my god, dude, like it's a big galaxy. Like, let's make things like, let's have Evazan say some different shit. He's a cool character. He's an interesting
I
character.
mean, okay, so let me just. I'm going to put you on the spot, Tad. I'm going to call you out a little bit. How'd you feel about them saying "heir to the Empire"?
I'm okay with that. We've seen it in the trailers
But
now.
isn't
so,
that just calling back to something? That's,
No, because it was.
I want to understand the difference.
Because it's not. That's not. It wasn't actually in the things. Like, yeah, you're calling into like something else, but that feels like kind of a cool little Easter egg to the fans that read those books back in the day. It's kind. But at the same time, there's a limit to that, because Colin Trevorrow, that was originally going to do episode 9, his script, when it ended up getting leaked, was titled Duel of the Fates. I hated that. That's one of the worst titles I've ever heard for a Star Wars movie, because that's the name of one of the most iconic John Williams pieces of music.
Pieces of music, yeah.
And so then to take the title from that to that was garbage. So I'm so glad that didn't happen. So I guess there's a weird line there, but I think what it comes down to is like Duel of the Fates is probably considered one of the most popular Star Wars songs of all time.
Oh yeah.
So titling a movie after that would have been dumb, but Heir to the Empire, there's a vast majority of fans that don't know what that means. And
Sure.
and also it does also fit what we're talking about, right? Like Thrawn would come in and immediately become the fucking center of the Remnant Empire. And I actually, there was some people questioning on I think it was Twitter or Reddit about like, is Ahsoka justified in her fears about Thrawn? Like, what have we actually seen from Thrawn? And somebody even made the joke of like, oh, it seems like Ahsoka read all the EU novels back in the day to be as scared of Thrawn as
Yeah.
she is. And I'm like, no, I laid it out. I said, okay, Thrawn came in as a cog, albeit a high-ranking cog in the Empire, in Rebels. He came in, there's twice that he had the Rebels to the point of destruction. Both times it took divine intervention to stop him.
Yeah.
Bendu and the fucking space whales, the Purgils. So he had them beat. They were done. The rebellion would have been crushed. And then the other things that fucked him was higher up rebel or Imperial people undercutting him,
or incompetence.
or like the Emperor picking the Death Star over his TIE interceptors. Like, can you imagine if there was just hundreds of thousands of those TIE interceptors?
Not interceptors, defenders.
TIE defenders, yeah. Interceptors, yeah.
Interceptors are Vader's ship, isn't it?
No, the interceptors are the ones that have the sharp wings that come forward.
Yeah, that's,
but
I was thinking because it has the curved wings like Vader's, but
Yeah.
then it has like the sharp. Yeah. Okay.
So the TIE defenders, like, imagine as formidable as Rebels showed us those to be. Imagine if there were 100,000 of those flying around. Like, do you think?
And with Imperial pilots who were some of the best in the galaxy.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the best Rebel pilots. Let's be perfectly honest. Wedge Antilles, Imperial trained.
Yeah.
A lot of those Rebel pilots that are some of the better fighters of the rebellion, they were trained by the Empire.
Yeah.
They got the classic training and then jumped ship. So it's not like it's a far thing for them to be good pilots.
Yeah.
Because they learned from the best. So Imperial pilots are good.
Yeah, and I don't know if Ahsoka knows, but we've seen in Mandalorian, I don't think the Imperial Remnant is unified. With all that bickering in that Shadow Council scene, I don't think there's a unified way for them. They're all jockeying for position to be the one in charge.
When you smash the army and you have 7 different leaders, but if someone comes in and unifies those,
when Thrawn comes in,
it's the classic conversation of what would have happened if when the Europeans settled in America and they started slaughtering indigenous people. Old habits die hard. I'm sorry, indigenous people. What if they had all united under one leader?
Yeah.
They would have massacred the colonists.
Yeah.
They would have destroyed any European settlers.
Yeah.
Because they outnumbered them 100,000 to 1, you know, kind of thing. So it's that situation. With the new Republic being new, it's less than 5 years. It's 5-6 years after
5 to 8 years.
5 to 8 years, somewhere in there after Return of the Jedi. Okay. You had to finish off the Empire. You have to establish your government. And we got a scene of it. I'm actually going to jump ahead a little bit because I have a note about this. The politicians are cowards and don't want to jump into another war because they know how disastrous it would be. And they will lose.
Yeah.
You want to know why? Because they don't have the support of the systems yet.
Yeah, and
look at the Clone Wars.
And we saw in Mandalorian, they can't protect everyone right now.
The mining colony had to call on Mando to come help him.
Yeah, exactly. So
Din Djarin had to come help him.
Yeah.
The New Republic wasn't helping them. They're not part of the New Republic. So you have all these, like, it's the same thing that happened in the Clone Wars. What I was saying is that the Separatists pulled the galaxy apart because there wasn't a strong government, which is how, I mean,
it's even weaker for the
how
New
much of
Republic.
that was Palpatine's fault by undercutting things and everything like that.
No,
and
I think it was.
weak.
I mean, in episode 1, even before he gets in place, he already talks about how ineffective the
But
government
right, but
is.
he's been a Senate for how long, making it that way? I could see him scheming and making it weak so that when he brings in his new galactic empire, of course people are going to embrace it with open arms because they think it's going to be better than this shit show that they. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. How many people in America right now would be embracing of something different?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying with Palpatine is we don't know if he was doing something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was, but what if he was? And so I think that if the Imperial remnants, all those scatters, like you said at the Shadow Council, if all of them are united under one banner,
Thrawn would do.
Which
he
Thrawn
would
he would
immediately
instantly.
He'd immediately become the most.
He's a
powerful.
Grand Admiral, of course. He has the rank alone.
And I kind of have a sneaking suspicion. I know we saw him in a Star Destroyer, but I'm wondering if he's going to come back with a Super Star Destroyer.
What if that's what's out there?
Yeah.
We don't know where he is. We
Yeah.
don't know what he has.
Yeah. If not, I mean, if it's just a normal Star Destroyer, that's fine by me because the Chimera is very effective. So, but yeah, so ultimately that was the case I made in response to the person where it was just like, there's all these things in universe that prove that Thrawn is an existential threat to what's going on in the galaxy right now. And Ahsoka understands it. You don't need the EU books and stuff for you. All the pieces are in place. You don't have to read a single book. Now there are the Thrawn books that are canon now, the new Thrawn books. There are some other stuff that have built some of this stuff out, but you don't need any of that. Everything if you just watch Mando, Rebels, like you get everything you need to know that Thrawn is a fucking threat and Ahsoka is right to be fearful that.
Also, let's just remember who we're talking about here that is scared of him. I hate when people are just like, oh, that character doesn't know what they're talking about. They shouldn't be scared of that. Excuse me, that's Ahsoka fucking Tano.
Yeah, child soldier from the age of
Child
like
soldier,
14.
apprentice to the greatest Jedi, according to some, Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Who is now Darth Vader and second only to Palpatine.
Yeah.
You're telling me that we shouldn't trust her instincts?
Yeah.
Why? Give
Yeah.
me one reason why
And
we shouldn't trust her.
That does actually get us to where where my next section that we're moving into is the fleet and the council discussion.
Oh, God.
So, first, I want to call out A-Wings and Mon Cal cruisers.
Yeah.
It's fun to see those.
The medical frigates.
Mon Mothma is awesome to see. Genevieve O'Reilly getting so much traction in her role because she had such a short turn in Revenge of the Sith. I mean, they brought her back in Rogue One.
Yeah.
She voiced stuff in Rebels, and then now here she was also in Andor, I think. But she's been playing a shitload of Mon Mothma at this point. And I love it because honestly, she was only a smidge above a cameo in Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
I always felt bad because like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how talented she is. She's been good. Obviously, in retrospect now, I can say that she's been good. But in 2005, I didn't know. All I knew was like, oh my God, you got the Mon Mothma part, and then she's hardly in it. So, love seeing her getting all this stuff.
I hate those politicians.
Yeah, we're getting there. So the other thing I wanted to point out, so Senator Ziano. So I wanted to point out with him, he's the one that is
A dickbag.
somewhat right though.
I know, he's a dickbag.
He's
what, sitting out the entire war
No, but
and
he's-
then being like, oh no, this is what we should do.
But calling out the fact that she keeps bringing up these threats and ultimately calling her out that all you care about is saving your friend Ezra, and you're just using all this Thrawn stuff to get as much resources, which we don't have. That's the only part you got to point out. They don't have it. They can't protect these systems and stuff. To sort of send like chunks of the fleet with Ahsoka on with they don't even know. What I love about it is he is like you kind of rub the wrong way by him, but what makes it even worse is he's not entirely wrong, because it's easier when they're just completely wrong and they're just like, oh, we got to keep the beaches
There's
open.
always-
It's the summer, we got to keep the beaches open. I don't care if there's a shark. But this guy, there's some truth in there, and it makes it so much harder because you're just like, I want to punch him.
I love the sick burn that she gives him. Just like, you know what? You may want to sit out another war or whatever she says to him. Like, you know, you sat out the last war, and it's like, yeah, call him out for that shit.
Yeah.
Where were you last time, huh, buddy?
I mean, it's my queen we're talking about here.
Yeah, don't fucking call her what is it, a warmonger?
Yeah.
Like, get out of here with that. She's trying to prevent a war.
Also, I wanted to point out, Easter egg wise, Star Wars Resistance, which was the animated show that takes place during the First Order era. It has BB-8 and stuff. It has more of a kiddie animation style.
Yeah.
Senator Ziano is actually still a senator then, so he is apparently going to be in this role for decades.
No.
He's not as bad. I think he's a little bit more good in that one. He has a kid that's like a soldier and stuff. So in all that period. So just to know he's a long-term character. It's kind of cool. Filoni's been doing a good job so far of attaching from all these other little Star Wars things.
Get those strings
and it's making it feel like a universe. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
bring it together. Well, which is what really, honestly, 1, 2, and 3 did a lot better than 7, 8, and 9 did.
Yeah.
Is that all of a sudden in 7 we have the First Order, and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Where? Wait, that's the Empire. What do you mean First Order? What's the? We never get it explained.
Yeah, I think Filoni's got a lot of heavy lifting to do to help us to do. For what a lot of people, what the Clone Wars did for the prequels, we need to get some kind of animated or live action shows to do some heavy lifting to help the sequels.
You were talking about this a week or two ago at work, dude. Animated show between episodes 6 and 7. Give me Han, Luke, and Leia's adventures.
I mean, I'm just gonna throw it out there.
It's right there, Dave.
I'm gonna throw it out there. What about live action?
Recast them.
Alden Ehrenreich has already been recast as Han Solo.
Let's have Sebastian Stan play Luke.
Yeah, or apparently the guy that actually does the body double for Luke looks a lot like him too.
Does he really?
The one that they've used in the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, I saw a picture of it and I was like, oh my God.
It's Luke Skywalker.
It's Luke Skywalker. But honestly, it's like George has already recast.
We got Carrie's daughter that could play her.
Yeah, there's been people that pointed that out too.
There we go. Let's do it.
She wouldn't be the first person to play 2 characters. Andy Serkis played both Snoke and he played a big part in Andor.
Yeah.
So you could have an actor play more than one role. So
let's do it.
Yeah. So then my other note, I already alluded to this bit. Ziano is antagonistic to my Queen Hera, but he is making some good points, especially seeing how ineffective the Republic has been seen in Mando. They can't even help some of their like initial planets solve problems. So it's like,
Okay, let's be fair for one point. The mining colony is not part of the New Republic. They chose to be outside of it, so
yeah, but
they're a little bit more respective of
but
that.
that's how you gain membership, is being
Yes.
able to help people, though, right?
But again, how would you feel as a member of the New Republic if you ask for help and they say, sorry, we can't. We're helping someone who's not in the New Republic, who chose not to be in the New Republic. We're trying to recruit them instead of keeping you. It's the same thing that with like cell phone customers. New customers get a new phone. It's like, well, what about us existing customers who've been here for 10
go
years?
fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Yeah, it's that feeling. I get kind of
Yeah.
where the New Republic is coming from in that aspect. Like you're saying with the Senator, I get where they're coming from there. Hey, join up and then we'll talk.
But my other note here, the lack of wanting another war is all too real in real history.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like World War II being delayed for so long because nobody wanted another bloody war after World War I knocked
No.
so many people in the teeth. Like the last thing any of them wanted. That's why,
Isolationist.
not capitulation. What is the people that were appeasement? The appeasement people.
The
Chamberlain.
Yeah. Giving Hitler everything and
Yeah, because-
and his car and his keys to his car and everything like
Yeah.
that. Because the appeasement of Hitler was a huge thing for him.
Yeah.
Because that kept another war from happening.
But the whole world had been kicked in the teeth by the worst war in history at that point. So it's
Yeah.
like nobody wanted another one. We're like,
No.
we just saw what happened. We haven't recovered our populations from the losses of the last
Yeah.
war. The last thing we need is another one. So I do, as a history fan, I do also want to give him some credit that I'm sure
Yeah.
he's not the only one that's like, we're not
I
doing
mean,
another fucking war, man.
At the same time, I'm going to use a real history example here. This is the French not letting Napoleon ride back to Paris. Let's not let the king come back. Let's not let the heir to the empire come back, No, really. I mean, you're laughing, but really, isn't that what it's more like?
Just don't send a bunch of Republic fleet out there. They might turn and
Yeah,
join
don't send the imperial converted out to force him back in
Stop
there.
him.
Yeah, they'll just join up with him and march to Coruscant.
exactly.
I did have a note about the senators meeting.
Yeah.
Do you remember the rebels force sound? It's like a ooh, like
Yeah.
whistle. Dude, I heard it in that meeting.
Oh, really?
I don't know if it was like incorporated into the music accidentally or on purpose.
No. Filoni-
I heard that ooh, there, and it was mentioned when they asked about Jason. They said, "How is Jason?" And ooh, I was like, "That was the Force sound."
Interesting.
I was like, "That was the Force
You're
sound."
talking a Filoni reference to another Filoni thing. That's not a mistake.
That's not a mistake.
Not a
That had to have happened for a
Which is
reason.
my next note as well.
Jason. I was so wrong. I'm always happy to admit when I'm wrong about things like this. I just said there's
You
not
weren't
going to
gonna
be
see him?
Jason. Well, that's because I was thinking he's 5 or 6 years old, but
That was during the war.
that was during the war
or right after the war.
Right
So
after
he's now.
Well, but the thing is that
Because when we see
Wait a
him in
minute.
Rebels,
we
he's
see the
like 5 or so.
We see the liberation of Lothal. That doesn't necessarily mean that's the Battle of Endor.
no, but because Sabine's talking during that time.
Yeah.
So by the time you see her on the bridge with Jason, he's like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
That's after Empire or after Jedi.
Right.
So then this another 8 years. Now you got him at 12, 13-year-old
Exactly.
kids.
I was
So,
thinking
yeah.
that it was 5 years after he was born.
Oh yeah, no.
That's what I didn't math right is what it is.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I didn't think we would see Jason, is because what is there for a 5-year-old to do? But a 12, 13-year-old, now we're at the prime age for apprenticeship here, if you know what I'm saying.
And very George-like.
And very George-like.
Although, keep this kid as far away from Luke Skywalker as you can. We already risked putting Baby Yoda in that school. Let's not risk.
We know what happens to that school.
Yeah, I have it on the screen too. I did grab a screen grab of not only with first full body shot of Chopper as well.
We have to talk about the fact that she's using Chopper as a babysitter. Hera needs to get contacted by child services.
Is there a better babysitter though?
Yes.
No.
Anyone's a better babysitter than
Dude,
Chopper.
Chopper-
Chopper's a homicidal maniac. He's going to teach that kid so many bad things.
Yeah, but he's a homicidal maniac. Exactly is why he would wipe out an entire planet to protect Jason,
This is true, but also he would get up to shenanigans with Jason.
which Mon Mothma calls out.
I know. Yeah. What are they getting up to?
Also, I don't know if you can notice here, it's harder to see, but he has a shoulder piece that is exactly like his dad's.
Kanan's.
So that's tough a little bit here.
Chopper looks great, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. I mean, he absolutely does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I had image wise there. And then my only other note: keep the kid away from Luke's school. So now we're back to Ahsoka, Sabine, and then Sabine wanting a faster training.
Can I have their table?
Oh, I'm sorry. One thing.
Yeah.
Fast rewind. We were also on home one in that last.
Oh, is that
set of
really
scenes.
home one?
So that is
I don't think we've ever seen inside home one except for Akbar's bridge.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, isn't home one where they do the briefing and
I don't know if it's
Return
actually
of the Jedi?
Do we find
we
out
did
where
see
it
that
is?
in episode 1 or 2. I don't remember what episode it was. Where is it Ahsoka giving Sabine Hera telling Ahsoka, and they're in that briefing room. That's the exact briefing room from Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah.
Where they have like and General Solo, is your team ready? Like that, it's that same. They rebuilt that set.
I didn't want to speak for you, pal.
Yeah. So, yes, home one. I forgot to call that out because that's huge nerdery. That's Akbar's ship. Love it.
Okay. How can I get one of those tables from Ahsoka's
Comes
ship?
out of the.
Dude, that is so fucking cool.
I actually did.
It was so cool. My wife commented on it.
I was gonna say I didn't put a note down, but in my head I'm like, this might be the coolest ship interior design that we've ever seen in Star Wars.
That was so cool. Like you open it up, and there's so much room for activities and everything, but then there's a table and chairs. And,
you know how easy Wii Sports would be to doing that.
I know. Bust out my DDR dance pad, and everything.
Yeah. Next up, my note here: Ahsoka explaining the Force, natural talent versus training and discipline is how I've always viewed it. Like people got really mad about like the whole Anakin's midichlorians are way higher and stuff. Like shouldn't it just be like discipline and training? I'm like, and what I've always said is it is. But in real world, look at athletes. There are some athletes that are more naturally gifted. Does that mean that Michael Jordan worked any less hard than any other guy? No. But did his hard work get him to a higher spot than other guys?
There's a difference between Michael Jordan's natural ability versus random guy.
Yeah.
Right? Their natural athletic ability is their hard work is the same, but the problem is that Michael Jordan's natural
talent
puts him up here.
Puts him into the fucking stratosphere.
Yeah, puts him above that other person because of that natural athletic ability, and that's what you're talking about with midichlorians.
That's what I've been saying for decades is that Anakin is more naturally gifted. That does not mean that he doesn't
have to
need,
work for it.
Yeah, that he doesn't need to work hard and be disciplined, because he certainly does. And I've always said that, so I'm glad that Filoni's actually spelling that out, because that's just how I've always interpreted it. I didn't know. I don't even know if George has ever even said that or not. But that's how I've always kind of viewed it, where it's just like it isn't just like oh my god, this person is born to be the fucking strongest Jedi ever and he's just gonna waltz into it. No,
it's not Superman.
No, and
it's not something that just happens to him and now he doesn't have to. No, he still has to learn how to use the Force and everything like that. Just because we didn't see him learning doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
Yeah, and not to say that someone that is less talented naturally can't discipline and hard work themselves up to being a pretty decent Jedi.
Exactly.
So
one of the things is to put a hole in their argument about natural abilities and stuff like that. Well, doesn't that mean that Luke should have picked up a lightsaber and been God? Like, no, he had to be trained. He had to hone his skills and everything like that. There's a reason that he lost to Darth Vader.
Yeah.
In episode 5.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a reason he lost. Is because he's not trained. He's not honed to those skills and everything like that. He may be as powerful or more powerful than Darth Vader, depending on which side of the fence you're on that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that he's not honed in those skills.
Yeah.
Because that's the hole in the argument. Oh, well, the midichlorians are so high that he's just naturally gifted. He just takes it up easy. Okay, then why didn't Luke beat Vader in episode 5?
Yeah.
There's the question. There it is right there. Let's figure that out.
Yeah. Sabine trying to move the cup is the most relatable thing I think I've ever seen in Star Wars.
I may or may not have done that in my life several thousand times.
Exactly. That and the automatic doors, right?
Oh, dude, walking into a grocery store. And you know what? I don't do it subtly either. I do like full arm motions and everything like that. I don't give a shit.
The security people are looking at the cameras laughing at you, is what you're saying?
I don't give a shit. It makes me feel like a Jedi.
Oh man, but yeah, that was very, very relatable.
Yeah.
Anything else you got here on
Not
this
here,
section?
no.
Okay, so then arriving at Cedos, I do love here is where they're getting in here. We got these ships attacking and stuff. the Disney era, movies I'll put aside because whatever. At least in the TV universe and the Rebels and stuff, they are not overusing Star Destroyers.
No.
Have you noticed that? And even most of the movies, I think the trilogy. But like Rogue One and stuff, it's not like they have Star Destroyers every fucking turn. It feels like when they use them, it's kind of like Vader. When they use it, they use Vader, they use him very effectively. With Star Destroyers, the few times they've used them in the Disney era so far, they're making them out to be even more like formidable than the original trilogy did.
Yeah.
The original trilogy was almost more like flippant with the use of Star Destroyers.
Well, yeah, you had like 6 of them chasing the Millennium Falcon into the asteroid field.
Yeah.
So,
and I've always thought in my head, headcanon is the only reason for that is because it's Vader has like a certain amount of ships under his command, and his whole purpose is I need to find Luke Skywalker.
I mean, the big thing is with Star Destroyers is that I think of them, if you're in a World War II sense of mind, which I know you studied a lot.
Yeah.
Aircraft carriers.
It's an aircraft carrier.
It's an aircraft carrier. How precious were those and everything like that? America learned very early on. Shit, these destroy battleships and destroyers and cruisers.
Yeah.
No problem. We need more of these. So the Empire built that up, but they've also become susceptible to the rebels with their smaller fleets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that they're being more careful. Well, we saw that in World War One. We talked about this with me and you have studied a little bit more in World War One, where they were just so hesitant to throw their ships into battle.
Yeah,
they're like the Royal Navy, the British Royal Navy, were like, well, we can't do this at Gallipoli. We can't put our ships in danger. And Churchill, who wrote the plan, was like, that's what they're fucking there for. Use them. So I think that the Empire is just using them in strategic points because they don't have a ton of them. They're Japan in this situation.
Well,
they only have a few of them.
Even going to Rebels at the height of the Empire, I don't think Rebels ever overused Star Destroyers. Like,
it was always like frigates
cruisers
and stuff like that. Yeah, well, but that's because the Rebels were on the fringes and little things.
But I like that because from a filmmaking perspective, they're protecting Star Destroyers. Yes. So when they show up, because at some point we're going to see a Star Destroyer in the show.
Yes.
And because of the way that they haven't gone heavy with them, and not even just this show, but in general, when that shows up, it is going to fucking mean something.
What about the first time we see Thrawn as the Star Destroyer? What if that's it?
Oh, yeah. And the first time it comes into some kind of action, I just think I'm just giving them some props from the filmmaking perspective because it is such an iconic element of Star Wars that it would be easy for them as filmmakers, whether it be live action or animated, to just overuse them.
To just throw Star Destroyers everywhere.
Yeah. So I love that. Then the battle with these fighters is very much like what we saw in Rebels a lot. It felt like a very Rebels-y type scene to me.
I had one.
Also, your wife is calling you out for hand motioning doors, and that it makes her roll her eyes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do. I had one little complaint about the dogfight, the starfighter fight there.
Yeah.
Why is there smoke coming off of the shields?
I don't know. Why not?
Because there's never been smoke coming off of shields ever in Star Wars. Ever. Through 9 movies, 11 movies, through Clone Wars, there's not smoke. This isn't chaff. This isn't anti-air gun, World War II shit. I don't know why, but it really took me out of the episode.
I didn't even notice.
I'm like, why is there smoke coming off of Ahsoka Tano's shields? Every time there was, because they did the.
It's probably to show that there are shields, just so people that maybe are newer aren't like, well, why is our ship taking so many hits?
They've shown shields before. You see the shields reflect and react, but you don't have puffs of smoke coming off. It's space, that kind of thing. I know Star Wars gets shit on that for not following the rules of space all the time.
Lucas said I'm not sci-fi. I'm trying to make things dramatic.
And I'm fine with that. But the smoke really took me out of it because we had machine gun lasers. It was like a dogfight from World War II that smoke was coming off of everything. And it just, I don't know why, but it really took me out of it. The dogfight was great.
I love those ships too.
The Apprentice, her
Shin.
face, Shin, when she's flying, I don't know why, but she is killing it for me.
Dude, I love her.
Like,
I really
she
do.
might be my MVP so far.
We're going to talk about that.
For that. I'm just like, God, she is just being so good.
Yeah, she's incredible so far.
Yeah.
Let's see. I love Hugh Yang's 3PO-esque doom and gloom.
Oh, yeah.
That made me laugh a lot. Also, prediction, the ring, I think, is a hyperspace ring, and I think it is for the Chimera.
To bring it back?
I think it's to bring the Chimera back. They keep talking about it's about the engines. Why is it a ring? We've seen hyperspace rings a few times in Star Wars before, so I think they're hand waving it away.
Obi-Wan's ship.
Yeah, exactly. But so I think they're hand waving it. It's like, it's all about the speed and the engines it's got and stuff. I'm like, this thing is going to connect to the Chimera and bring the fucking Chimera back.
Okay.
Scared me that Hugh Yang was dead. I'm really scared they're going to throw away a 25,000-year-old character. I'm very fearful for him a few times in the next episode too. Ahsoka spacesuit.
That was pretty cool.
So fucking cool, dude.
That was really cool.
And that felt like a throwback, too. I remember that in the underwater scene in Clone Wars on the planet with the Mon Cal and the Corran.
With, what's his name? The Jedi Master who dies right away with Palpatine.
Yeah.
Kid Fisto.
Yeah. Didn't they also have her use it in space at least once in Clone Wars?
I think so.
I think they did.
I've only overwatched Clone Wars once. You'll have to forgive me on that if I'm wrong.
Sabine fixing the ship is very Rebels to me.
All
throughout Rebels.
Always
she was
fixing the goddamn
was
coast, that piece of shit.
Always fixing the ships.
I love that ship to death. But it's like the Falcon. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Let's see. Cloud flying is always fun. Yeah. I am speeding up a little bit because we're getting close to the end. And
I know.
We're
only one episode in.
Yeah, I want to give time for the next episode because it's a bigger episode.
How about the Purrgil?
Purrgils? I geeked out.
Dude, I was like, dude!
Space whales.
I did the whole Brad Pitt. I was like pointing at the screen, screaming.
DiCaprio.
Oh, DiCaprio, yeah.
Yep. We obviously saw them in Rebels, but remember Baby Yoda also saw them in the last season of Mando. When they were in hyperspace, so we've seen Purrgils referred to a few times.
We saw the shadow outline of them. We didn't see them, so
that's enough of seeing them.
No, I mean this is legit seeing them.
Oh,
we
yeah,
we didn't know what color they were going to be and everything like that. So,
doesn't it feel like a coincidence that this planet they're using the map for is also where the Purrgils are at?
Yeah,
that's an interesting.
It's
an interesting coinkadink.
I mean, they talk about it in the next episode, so
yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's like what's the connections here?
Yeah.
I love Ahsoka throwing Jedi Protocol back at Hugh Yang and then shutting down the power to include him.
Yeah.
Because earlier on he's like, well, Jedi Protocol is, which also his protocol about going far away from the planet means Obi-Wan's a rule breaker.
Yep.
Because in episode 2 he flies right up into the fucking planet when he comes out of hyperspace.
Oh yeah.
So it made me laugh because Obi-Wan's generally such a rule.
Do you think that was written because of Obi-Wan?
Could be.
This is what we call the Obi-Wan rule.
But yeah, I love this.
Fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I loved Ahsoka throwing the Jedi Protocol back at him.
Yeah, she's like, hey, shut up.
And then she shuts him down.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, good punch. And then my last note here, Balon sending the goons to take the Jedi out.
He knew it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. It's whatever.
I have a question that I wrote down here at the end of episode 3.
Right.
I am going to save it.
Okay.
Due to time constraints. This might not be something that we have to discuss at this moment. So.
Okay, so we're jumping into part 4, Fallen Jedi.
Yes.
So first of all, can't reach the fleet. That
Yep.
seems about right. They're being jammed and all that stuff. Home one is of course Akbar's ship we saw in Jedi.
That's all happening before we get to Ahsoka and Sabine, right?
Yeah, because Hugh Yang is trying to contact them.
Right.
And then the discussion, then we get to Sabine and Ahsoka talking about the map. Ahsoka's counting on Sabine to do the right thing. Kind of a brutal scene. They're both driven heavily, but both by opposite things. Ahsoka just wants to make sure that door stays closed forever, and Sabine wants to go through that door to get Ezra. They've built this perfectly to where these two are not going to jive necessarily.
I put down Ahsoka prepping Sabine for the choice if they can't get the map, and so they can't get to Ezra, then no one can is just so hard to swallow, because as someone who has a wife and a daughter, I couldn't imagine someone telling me that, hey, you have to be prepared to be the one to close that door forever and never see them again.
Although they are brother and sister-ish, relationship-wise.
Ezra and...
Yeah,
I mean family. That's
yeah,
what I'm going for. Familiar relation is what I was going for.
Okay.
Not lovers. Like I said, father-daughter as well.
Because there's a lot of people still trying to ship the two, and I'm like, I think that ship set sail a long time ago, and that's not a thing.
I don't know. with the way Disney works and everything like that, I could absolutely see them being a couple when they if Ezra comes back and everything like that. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say yes. I'm going to let it play out. That's one of those ones that I don't care which way it goes.
Yeah, they were just so sibling-like throughout the whole tail end of Rebels. I think the first season he was like hot on her, and then like she kept shutting him down to the point where then it just evolved into being brother and sisterly. I think through the tail end of the show.
Which then at that point is where they become more than friends. That's how it happens,
I don't
right?
know,
It's
man.
like that's. I mean,
I'm hearing banjos in the distance.
If we're going off of Star Wars canon, I mean.
So then when they left Hugh Yang outside again, I'm terrified.
Oh, dude.
Because like I trust Filoni.
And then you got the name of the episode is Fallen Jedi too. Like
Luckily, he's not a Jedi. I don't think I think he's a training apparatus.
He's the only Jedi.
What?
Ahsoka's no Jedi. She says it all the damn
there's-
time. Sabine's not a Jedi. She's even said to Hu Yang that she's trying to train her not to be a Jedi. So the only Jedi we realistically have right now is Hu Yang.
No, I think that
He's a Jedi trainer. Like that's all we have.
I didn't think of it that way. I think the Fallen Jedi. My first thought is Balon. I'm like, okay, this is going to be an episode with his focus because he's the Fallen Jedi.
I was talking about like in Ahsoka's ship, the three we have.
Yeah.
That's all we have. And it's
Yeah.
just like, wait, that's how they're going to get us. They're going to make us think that we're talking about Balon, but we're really Hu Yang dies. I was
Yeah.
like, no, it can't happen.
And then that goes to my next note. Balon is so fucking great. Is that fear in your voice? Experience.
Yeah.
Just, you said Shin is your MVP, and I mostly agree that she's been doing great. But I think Balon is absolutely the MVP for me for the show, dude. Across
He's
the board,
great.
he has blown my socks off every fucking scene.
Yeah.
He's just interesting as hell. He has like what I loved about Dooku was that whole conversation he had with Obi-Wan where he told him the fucking truth across the board almost. Like that is always what's fascinating about Dooku, where it's like, okay, he is a Sith and he's under Palpatine, but if Obi-Wan was to join him, is it to overthrow Palpatine and then like move back away from the Sithness and like be more like kind of what Balon is?
Or once you don't go down the path of the darkness forever, will it dominate your destiny?
Well, and I don't mean like Grey Jedi. I just mean like
No.
Would he pull away
No.
from that? Would he pull away from the full on
He couldn't.
hardcore
He
Palpatine?
Listen to Yoda. Master Yoda says, if you go
like,
down that path forever, will it dominate you?
Anakin proves him wrong. So, and not that he hasn't been wrong a number of times. I always like that quote to disprove that Grey Jedi could be a thing, because that will never be something I accept. But a fallen Jedi, there's all the things interesting about some of the most interesting things about Dooku. I think they put on a Balon. The orange lightsabers make you think a lot. We'll talk about it. I wanted to call him out. He's incredible.
With your notes, where you're at, have we gotten to the fight yet with Sabine and Ahsoka? I don't want to jump ahead again.
No, you're okay. My next note is Sabine putting her armor on.
Oh yeah,
It's pretty great.
Her pistols and like loading them and everything.
And
like
just having the armor, just seeing it. I mean, I know we've seen it
Helmet,
before, but
yeah.
just seeing it all is just is great.
complete set. First time she's worn her helmet though. So, I will say Sabine's pistols look great, and I want one.
Opening up and stuff.
Dude, I if they make any kind of like
master
real
replica
like
or
a master
something.
replica, they will be the first Star Wars weapon that I want that's not a lightsaber. Those were fucking amazing
They're
looking.
pretty cool.
I'm like, oh, dude, I would love to, like the set of two. I would love to have them with the rebel symbol that she designed, the Phoenix or whatever, Phoenix for Phoenix Squadron. I would have absolutely would nail that.
They also called that out. I didn't put it in the notes, but they call her Hera Phoenix leader. So
yeah, they called her
at the very end. So
it's when they were getting ready to jump.
Yeah.
On your mark, Phoenix leader. It's like
Yeah.
But that's actually the Sabine and Ahsoka fight was phenomenal.
fight, you talking
The little henchmen guys.
Oh, okay, yeah. The
First
actual,
fight.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was trying not to get too far
No,
ahead.
that's okay. Because
that fight.
I did want to call out the Rock'em Sock'em Robots with Hugh Yang and the HK. That was absolutely fucking incredible. Because, like, let's face it, he's going to be able to throw down.
Oh yeah.
So, like, I was worried for him when they left him out alone, and then you see the sinister person standing.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my god, you better not kill him. And then when they attack, he just throwing down and punching him, like, help.
And they like cover his mouth,
Which was a cool Empire throwback.
Yep.
Han covering
3POs.
Impossible, man.
But then we finally get to see the ghost too.
Yeah.
Hera's taking off, and she's just like, "Fuck it all.
Yeah.
I'm going to help."
Yeah. And then I've got at least Elsbeth was right about the goons not holding them up long.
No.
She was right there. Hugh Yang's request for them to stick together is an awesome moment.
Yeah.
You always worked better that way. That
was really cool.
That was cool.
My note here, Sabine, with all of her weapons that she used in the Rebels, except for one's missing.
Yeah, she used that grappling thing, which
She's used the
was
grappling
cool
thing. She uses zip rockets. She's used her pistols. She deflects with her basilisk?
Beskar.
That's Harry Potter, sorry. Beskar armor and everything. But there's one thing that does she ever use a flamethrower?
I don't remember.
I thought she did in the later seasons. Like, she uses it to stormtroopers fall down a lot when she uses it. I thought.
Maybe.
But also, I have a question.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to Sabine's jetpack?
I don't know.
She had a jetpack at the end of Rebels, so
Yeah, she did.
Where's my girl's jetpack, Tad? Tad? Where's her jetpack?
I don't know. So
that's like taking the ghost away from Hera. Like,
then you mentioned Hera going rogue, which that's our first decent shot. It's in the hangar, but the first decent shot of the ghost.
And then we get it in space.
We've had some obscure shots where it's kind of in the background, hidden a little bit.
But we only saw the Phantom on Corellia.
Yeah.
Not the ghost.
Not the ghost. We saw the ghost in episode 1, though. Inside of a window, you see outside the window, you see
there's the ghost.
The hump of the ghost.
Yeah.
Like, if you know the ghost well enough, you'd know it's
Yeah.
it. But outside of that, it'd be easy to miss. But I love that. Love it. Love her going rogue. First good look at the ghost in the hangar. Chopper's a great babysitter for Jason, is my note, which I guess apparently you disagree.
I'm telling you don't leave the child with a homicidal maniac, a war criminal. You don't do that.
Sure you do. He's not going to do anything to Jason.
No, he's not going to do anything to Jason, but he's going to convince Jason to do things to other people.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yes, there is.
I love Jason questioning Hera not following orders. Why do you have to listen? Why don't you have to listen when I do?
Dude, that's a kid thing, right? I think every kid at some point has to ask that question, like, why do I have to do this but you don't?
Yeah.
Why do I have to eat my peas but Dad doesn't? Or why do I have to clean my room and you guys don't? It's always that, hey, shut up, you little.
And I love her answer. When you're a general,
you can do your own thing. Do your own thing, yeah.
And also Carson Teva.
Hey,
that geeked me out a lot,
and it pissed me off.
Why?
Where the fuck is Zeb?
I think Zeb's
Where's
still.
my
I think
Zeb?
Zeb's still coming. I don't know about Kalis or Callus. I don't know about him, but I do think Zeb is on the horizon. I do think that. Yeah.
If I get X-Wing pilot without Zeb, Peter go.
But
not happy. I was really expecting Zeb to be in one of those X-Wings.
Yeah.
Because that's where we saw him in Mandalorian, is with that. What was the pilot's name again? I'm sorry.
Carson Teva.
Yeah, Carson. When we saw him with Carson, I'm like, oh, okay, Carson's here.
Can he fit in an X-Wing though? He's a big fucker.
I mean, they could.
He might have to be. He might have to be in a Y-wing or
something. They could modify it. I think he flies a Y-wing at one point, doesn't he?
He's in. Rebels plays really fast and loose. There's a lot of Doctor Whoing going on in Rebels.
Yeah.
There's a point when like the whole crew is in a TIE fighter.
Yeah.
A number of times actually. Another note: Jason is going to be a really great pilot when he gets older.
Oh yeah. Also
learning from probably the best pilot in the galaxy, and she's got him right along.
The best non-force wielding pilot in the galaxy. Let's. Hey. Just remember, in this galaxy, you have someone who helped blow up the original Death Star, and you also have Wedge Antilles who helped blow up 2 Death Stars. So, let's not put that pin on Hera yet.
Hera would have done it alone.
just her and the ghost. That's it. Yeah. With a roll of duct tape and Chopper throwing trackers at people.
Yeah, swearing and screaming around and zapping people and stuff. He is a menace, by the way.
He is absolutely a menace. But a perfect babysitter, though.
Yeah, he is. Again, because that's the thing. There were some people also questioning, like, why the fuck is Hera got him out, like, on the front lines, essentially, even on Home One, let alone the fact now you're going out in danger and you're taking him with you. But in my response to the person was, Mama Bear and Chopper. Tell me one place in the galaxy he's going to be safer.
Naboo.
I don't think so, man. Fucking Leia got kidnapped off goddamn Alderaan, for Christ's sake, from the goddamn palace. I mean, she wasn't even like
with the royal guards. Yeah.
But with Mama and Chopper, he is as safe as
who's
safe
better
can
to
be.
watch him than her mom? Than his mom.
His mom and Chopper.
Yeah.
So
his godfather.
Yeah. Next up, Balon saying he lost his faith a long time ago. Fuck, give me more of this guy. As we
Just hook it to my veins!
And my speculation, maybe Tales of the Jedi season 2. I don't know if you watched that yet, but
I haven't.
They each episode dives into like some more Jedi to like. There's one that's the flashbacks of Dooku as a Jedi.
Dooku.
But there's a Ahsoka episode and there's some cool stuff, and I'm like, it's season 2. Give me a Balon episode, dude. I want to see what's going on with this character. What else do you got?
Inquisitor fight. That's my next note.
Okay. So the map countdown to the download is a great clock for the episode. It's a good way to put a timer on everything. I already mentioned
build the tension using it and everything like that. Just like the also, did you catch? Oh, that's the note I forgot. Should have written down. Did you catch the panel there? Shows like a circle and it shows it going around.
Yeah.
Kind of reminded you a little bit of the Death Star circling Yavin.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I had that
Just
thought.
a little bit.
I do not recall where this is at. The second time watching, I should have been closer watching, but I didn't. There's a point when you look down on the ghost thing. I put it up on the screen here. Speaking of round screens,
Yeah.
look to the right of that round screen.
Is that a picture of Kanan?
It is,
Oh,
and it very much looks like Freddie Prinze
Freddie
Jr.
Prinze Jr.
It's blurry. They keep it blurry to where it's not.
Cameo! I'm
But-
taking it. That counts
but-
as my cameo one for Kanan.
But Kanan,
Yes!
that's a really cool moment.
for Freddie Prinze Jr. That's awesome.
That's a cool moment. That made me really happy. I saw that more online than I didn't catch it in the episode. I remember that scene too the first time watching it because I was just like, "Oh, cool! Look at that control board and stuff." But I missed the picture. Then I saw it on Twitter and stuff. And then the second time watching last night, I completely. I was
Forgot
like,
to look.
I was taking notes, and that scene just came and went. And suddenly, I'm like, toward the end of the second episode, I'm like, "Wait, where was that control panel? At? God damn it!" Next time I watch it, I'll figure it out. But yes, that is in there. So that's pretty cool. Freddie Prinze getting a slight cameo.
That's awesome.
So next, Shin versus Sabine using the Mando stuff. It's a cool throwback to Rebels when they hooked her up with all the gear to fight the Jedi. When her and Ezra were constantly sparring, and they had the Mandalorian people there were like, "You gotta quit losing to this Jedi. Let's hook you up with some fucking some stuff." Here.
See, that's where I think she got the flamethrower and everything. That's where she got the zip rocket, the grappling hook, and everything.
Yeah,
and then she has a jetpack from there on.
Yeah,
like I think that.
Yeah. And then we're getting to where your note is here. Why is Marek stepping up against Ahsoka? Has he not watched Rebels?
Yeah.
Inquisitors don't do so well when Ahsoka comes around.
Why did Shin go for Sabine?
Yeah.
Or did no? Sabine went for Shin. She wanted a rematch, so that's why he was left with no choice.
I would have ran. I'm like, I watch Rebels. I'm not gonna fight you.
No, but we found out that he doesn't have a choice.
No, I know. I'm mostly joking.
No, I know, but like,
I don't know if anyone has more of a kill count against Inquisitors than Ahsoka. I think she's killed more.
Maul's got quite a few.
I mean,
he kills what, 3 at the Sith Temple?
Yeah.
Doesn't he kill all 3 of them that are there? Oh no, he kills one and then he kills one and then the other 2 run away.
Yeah,
cowards.
Yeah. But yeah, what do you got from this fight here? As we're getting into this fight now, because I'm getting to where
the fight itself was amazing. It was great to see Sabine. Okay, so she's still not adept with a lightsaber and everything like that. But once she puts on the Mandalorian armor, she does become a more formidable opponent.
Yeah, because she can be a Mandalorian. Ultimately,
like deflecting with her gauntlets and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that was so cool to finally see that. I mean, we've kind of got a hint with that with Mando, but he's never gone against someone with a lightsaber.
No,
not really. Like dark saber a little bit,
tiny bit,
but not really like full on like lightsaber. Let's see it. Let's see the Beskar. It's always been kind of a question, hasn't it? Can Beskar hold up to a lightsaber? We've always heard yes. We've seen it in like animation, but let's see it in live action.
Yeah.
So I think this is the first time we've ever seen that. So
yeah,
moment in history for Star Wars. Beskar armor does hold up against glancing lightsaber blows at least. And then her using like all of her gadgets and everything like that, and being able to fight, and the way that the fight ended left me stunned. Like I did not expect that to happen with the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
That caught me completely off guard.
So I don't know. We talked a little bit about who Marek might be.
Yeah.
We didn't go too heavily into it.
Let's go into it now.
But there's a lot of people that had fan theories that it was Star Killer
or Ezra.
But Star Killer is one that
Because it's
was
the
big.
character's fucking name.
It's his name. But they're like, honestly, like, what was?
Hold on. Real fast, for anyone who doesn't know the in-depth Star Wars, there's a couple games called the Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Merrick is Darth Vader's secret apprentice, so his nickname is Star Killer.
Yeah.
So that's who we're referencing.
Yeah.
Not canon, by the way.
What was the one in WandaVision that everyone thought was going to show up? That the one character that everyone had all these conspiracy theories about so and so showing up, and it ended up not being the case. But there was like all kinds of God. I'm trying to remember who it was.
I don't remember that.
But I feel like Marek was kind of becoming that.
Like a red herring.
Where it's like everyone's like, oh my God, it's gonna
Look over here, look over here, look over here, and then bam, hit you with the right.
Mephisto.
Oh yeah,
All the
yeah,
Mephisto
yeah.
freaking rumors. And to me, it got to the point where it was so fucking ridiculous, and it was funny.
You're like, I hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
now.
oh yeah, exactly. And Marek, like, I know it's been a shorter period of time, but it felt like it was getting just as out of hand. So just to see him get fucking iced like a goon, I mean, I wouldn't say it's not completely uneventful, because the green mist coming out of there
That's
is very interesting.
Do you remember that?
From Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, the witches.
I put it. Here's my note. I wrote this down as I watched the episode. Right. What was the smoke from the Inquisitor all about? Is that some witchcraft? And I've thought about it now since then. That aired on Tuesday. I've thought about it now. I have not looked anything up. That's the ghost possessing something, right?
Yeah.
So is that just an empty shell? And that's what they're
That's
possessing?
what I'm assuming, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just...
The witchcraft from the Sisters of Dorthamir, right?
Yeah, the Dathomir.
Dathomir.
Yeah,
Dathomir.
yeah. Witches.
Witches.
Burn them!
Dude, okay, so I have a note here. It's my second to last note. The main witch.
Mm-hmm.
What's her?
Elsbeth.
Elsbeth. I keep wanting to call her Eleanor for some reason. Elsbeth. Is it funny how she's just hunching more and more as the episodes go on? Like, she started upright, she's slowly starting to hunch over like a witch.
I'm wondering if we're going to get some sort of reveal, because I feel like they've really not given us much on her outside of that initial thing where it's like, oh, you're Sister of Dathomir, you're a witch, like, and she's I'm a survivor. Outside of that, man, she's just kind of been mustache twirling.
I wonder if her like physical form is a fake. Because if you watch her, go pull up a shot of her in episode 1, upright, standing tall. She's an Empire person, but as it's slowly gotten on, like in this last episode, right before they jump to hyperspace, dude, she's like Wicked Witch of the West, like that hunch.
I didn't notice that. That's good.
It's a very interesting tell for her. Is that if that's something there's going to be a change in her appearance soon, where she's going to be more witchy like.
Yeah,
but also it could just be that's her way of playing a witch.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of interesting to catch that, and then sorry, I have 2 more notes.
I've got plenty more, because we've got some big stuff going on here.
Lightsaber fight. Dude, I can't say enough.
I am going to just throw it out there. What we've seen in this show so far is some of the best lightsaber stuff, not even just in the Disney era, but in all of Star Wars. Like,
it's amazing.
This goes, not that it's going to overcome episodes 3 and 1 and some of the great shit we've seen, but this is in the fucking ballpark, and
it's in the conversation.
That's
already
saying a lot. Yeah. Because they've done a masterful job with the lightsaber work in this show so far. So
I like Balin's curt, abrupt 90-degree.
Yeah.
0.
90. Yeah. So ultimately, so I got a couple things. So first, Balon is staying to guard the map. Then, as Ahsoka approaches, he brings up Anakin again. God, I love this fucking character, man. Balon is a brute with a saber. No one but Vader fights with that kind of brute strength that we've ever seen.
Just like
we have never seen someone throw the weight around like that, except for Darth Vader.
Yep.
And it kind of made me wonder, man, what would Balon and Vader look like? Because usually
that's
Vader,
just those 2 heavyweights just standing in the middle of the ring, throwing haymakers.
Yeah, it's like two boxers that are both like 275, 6 foot, 5, just 2 massive motherfuckers.
Just throwing lefts and rights and shit. Not blocking, not moving, no float like a butterfly, sting none of that stuff. Just I'm gonna hit you, you're gonna hit me, and whoever lasts.
Yeah, like, and I don't know if he would stand a chance, because Vader's pretty fucking whatever, but Ahsoka held up pretty well against Vader the few times she's faced off, or one time she faced off with him. She put a dent in him. Like
Yeah.
outside of Obi-Wan, nobody else has done that. And Balin, he does not. He throws down with Ahsoka. Let's just say that.
Did you catch the different stances that Ahsoka did?
Both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
I liked where the very first time they were going to square off, Ahsoka changed her stance like once or twice, and Balin just didn't fucking flinch.
Yeah.
He's like, "This is what I'm doing," and that's what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Is
Well,
that
there's
he's
one
like-
time he does change though.
No.
She
At the
changed-
very first of the fight, she's changing, and he's just like, "Come at me, bitch." he's just ready for her, and he's just like, "Nope, let's go.
Yeah.
Nope, let's go. Nope, let's go." But then as the fight progressed, and he's like, "Okay, now I'm gonna change." And it's like you know what it reminds me of? It's that one where it's like it's the Princess Bride. Why are you smiling? Because I'm not left-handed. Huh. It's like, oh shit, this is his final form, kind of thing. Like, oh, he's actually going to be trying. It's like Vader in Episode 5. Vader starts off with one hand versus Luke.
Oh yeah, just toying with him.
But then he goes two hands.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of like that with
Yeah.
Balin.
I have seen a pretty cool, it's not really a meme, but something showing Vader in Obi-Wan goes two hands. And it's like, this is the first time we've really seen Vader go two hands. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason, because he knows Obi-Wan is a formidable opponent.
Yep.
So, Ninja Vanish by Shin. Ninja Vanish. I loved that. That was pretty great. I was a little bit worried for Sabine. I don't think Sabine is an untouchable character. So when she went up against Shin again, I was like, Ahsoka's not, I don't think Ahsoka's going to die. Chopper, Hera are fine. Jason, I wouldn't give
I think Hera would die more than Jason.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that opens up Jason going to the Jedi.
Yeah. But Sabine,
I know it's hard to hear, Tad,
Sabine,
but your girl is in danger.
Sabine, I was like, I don't know if she's so the Ninja Vanish. I'm like, okay, so Sabine's okay.
My girl lives.
Yeah. So Ahsoka going a bit dark when she thought Sabine was dead, though. When Shin shows back up, and just like
she pummeled her. She picked Shin up and just bam.
Yeah, but then here's the payoff I didn't catch till the second time. She does lean into the dark side a bit there when Ahsoka does, and what happens?
Gets her ass kicked.
Just like what she told Sabine at the beginning, it puts you off balance.
Yep.
She is no longer in balance, and once she doesn't have balance, Balin just fucking owns her. And just sends her over the edge.
She burns her hand on the map and everything like that.
But next time you watch it, look at after that shit with
Oh, no,
Shin.
no, I remember. You're right.
She's not, I don't mean balance like Zen shit. No, I mean physically.
Oh, no, yeah. She's off.
She's not, she doesn't have a good base.
He hits her a couple times and she stumbles.
Yeah.
Whereas every other time before that, she hits and she's just like, glance.
Yeah.
Deflect.
Yeah.
Block.
But she goes down from his brute strength, but also because she's off balance, and that ultimately leads to her downfall. So I love that because that was a cool kind of setup payoff thing where it's like, because that's where Sabine actually gets a little bit going, is she kind of leans into her anger.
Yeah.
It's like, you lean into your anger, you're going to get out of balance.
Yep.
And she shows that, and then it pays off for Ahsoka. Also, it's kind of cool too because I don't think Ahsoka's really shown that much feeling for Sabine to her face.
No.
So that was kind of a tell to the audience.
Shows more there than she ever has to her face.
To her, yeah. I am still curious as to what this relationship, what's all happened here with Ahsoka and Sabine.
Quits Sabine. That's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
Usually it's the apprentice who quits the master.
Yeah.
But this time the master's like, nope.
Yeah.
And we don't know why.
Yeah.
Is it because she sensed the dark side in Sabine?
Yeah, it could be. And then I love Balin saying I didn't want it to come to this, basically, before he sends her over. Again, I love Balin because early in episodes 1 or 2 he talks about how unfortunate it is to have to take out Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So again, he's such a fascinating character. But she goes down. Earlier, I thought Shin might not be as skilled enough to deflect bolts back at Sabine enough to hit her. But but Balin, he certainly fucking can. He's talented enough. So when he's not deflecting him to hit her, he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Shin, she just may not have that talent. I think there's a talent to aiming the bolts back at someone.
Not just deflect it, but redirect it.
Redirect it back to the person that's shooting you. I think that takes a level of mastery that I don't know if Shin has. But Balin, though, he's missing on purpose.
Yeah.
When Sabine starts shooting at him,
I think there's a reason. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Balin pulling the Thanos and telling Sabine to destroy the map.
Do it.
Yeah, do it.
I love it. It's after he like looks into her too, and he's like, "Yeah, you're not gonna do it."
Yeah. He's definitely got that insight that Vader showed. We haven't really seen that insight from a lot of characters too. When you go through look through the whole thing, you got Palpatine and Vader for sure that we've seen have that real strong insight into people. Vader shows it. Obviously, Palpatine.
I think Qui-Gon. I think Qui-Gon has it, but he doesn't do it like as obvious as them. Like he knows, like his line to Padme, "The Queen trusts me." I think it's a little underhanded slap at her, like, oh, yeah, she trusts me.
But I think the only thing there though is I don't know if he knows enough about which one it actually is the queen.
Yeah.
So he might actually think the decoy is the queen. Where
He
he's
very
just
well
like,
could. He
he's-
very well
yeah,
could.
Cause,
But I think he's very good at.
but he puts her in her place though,
Yeah, he
right?
does.
Because
Yeah.
ultimately, whether he knows or not, he's just like, Queen, trust my judgment.
Yeah, shut up.
It's like you shouldn't assume so much.
Yeah.
But how about reading her mind and emotion? Holy fuck, Sabine's family is dead.
Yeah.
They died in the Night of 1,000 Tears, the purge of Mandalore. Dude, that's big, man. Her family was a big part of Rebels. So
What if that's the reason why Ahsoka left her?
And then he also says that Ahsoka didn't trust her. So
What if she wanted to go save her family and Ahsoka wouldn't let her?
which would be interesting because Ahsoka's the one that chased out to Mandalore at the end of the Clone Wars. She's the one that was like, "Hey, Obi-Wan, Anakin, come help me. Shit's going down at Mandalore. We need to go help them." So it's very interesting that she would not be willing to go, or I don't know. More's to come there. I think we're going to see more there. We have
Yeah.
to. They're planting way too many seeds. I'm starting to get a little nervous that we're going to get all the answers this season though. Because I think there might be multiple seasons of the show, and we're at the halfway mark now after this episode. So, and then Balin goes down with Palpatine as one of the only ones who ever actually has his speech work about joining me.
Yeah.
But then again, he does say the magic words.
Ezra.
Do it.
Oh, he does.
He does say do it.
I mean, one thing also with that is that it's not a matter of joining me. It's a matter of it's hey, come be my prisoner. Nothing will harm you, but we'll go find Ezra.
Yeah, and because he ultimately sees, and then again, that's what I love is that Dave is setting this up in the right way. He set it up for Ahsoka to have that conversation, and then put Sabine in that position to make the choice of do you close the door forever and do what Ahsoka expects you to do, or are you going to pursue your own ends? And I love it because that's going to come down to a very interesting conversation at a certain point.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So Sabine obviously chooses to give the map to them. They finish the calculations, and they're getting ready to jump.
Then he destroys it.
He destroys it.
I also love that he gives his word that she won't be harmed. Also, from the immediate moment he said it, I'm like, I don't doubt him either.
No.
I don't think he's one of those like villains that's just going to, you trusted me? No. He's such a fascinating character.
So honorable.
Yeah. And the thing is he's not a Sith. Like, ultimately, remember when we go back to episode 1, he's a hired help. Elsbeth hired him and Shin.
Mercenaries.
The Inquisitor, I don't know how he fit in. That's probably just something she conjured up. But these two, they're fucking bounty hunters.
Yeah.
That are fallen Jedi.
They're just mercenaries.
Yeah, so that's that's a very interesting dichotomy. Now that we've winnowed it down to 3, because originally I was like, it's so weird that we have 4.
Yeah.
With the Inquisitor, the Witch, then the 2 fallen Jedi. It was weird. Now we're down to 3. 3 is a powerful number. I like it. Seems better.
Yeah.
So she gives in. Do you think this is him doing good manipulation, or do you think that she's actually using them to get to Ezra? In her mind, is she folding into what he's saying, or is it kind of like the classic Rebels where like, oh, we're going to pretend to surrender so that we can go up into fucking air ducts and...
You're going to find out that she has a tracker on her, something that reaches across or something, or she was recording it in some way or something.
But what about the chopper tracker? Isn't that still attached?
It is, but can it read across that great a distance?
Yeah, I don't know. But I guess from my perspective, I don't have a solid answer whether she's using them or whether she's falling into and being used.
I think she is absolutely being used just to get to Ezra. I think this is one of those moments we've seen it a couple times.
You don't
in
think
Rebels.
she's using them where it's like, you guys have the ship. All I need to do is give this map to you, and then as long as you're going to promise me to get on that ship so I could be there to go through, and then I'm going to do my fucking Mando Rebels crew thing. Break out, get to Ezra, and we're good. Like that's what I'm wondering.
I would kind of expect that if there was more than one rebel there. I mean, all we have is Sabine.
Yeah.
And I think that at this point, yes, she probably thinks that something like that is going to happen. But does she have a plan? No.
I don't think she has a hardcore plan, but I think it's a matter of like my ends are to get to Ezra. This is the only path there.
Yes. I think that's right. But does she expect to escape and everything like that? She might be watching for an opportunity, but is that the reason why she said yes? No, it's not. Her saying yes had nothing to do with...
So it's Balin was successful.
I think Balin was successful in convincing her, hey, come with me and we'll get you to Ezra.
Yeah.
It's not, again, I think that it's a little bit of a misquote for you to say that she joined him and she's now on his team.
No, and it's not that. It's just, but she did give him the key to unlocking the door to almost to Thanos, to Thrawn.
THA, I mean... We'll forgive that. No, I was just going back to what you said about join me with Palpatine and Balin being the only two that ever. I don't think she actually joined him. I think that she's just accepting that the only way she can ever get to Ezra is with him.
Is this way, yeah.
Yes.
Also, I want to point out here, Sabine is not pulling a Peter Quill by punching Thanos. There's been people that have been reacting that way.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm like, absolutely not.
No.
This is nothing even close to that.
No.
Now, does she understand that she is potentially opening Pandora's box by getting to Ezra like she wants to?
This doesn't close this would close the door and everything like that, but that doesn't mean the Thrawn's not still out there.
Yeah, exactly.
If you get the Infinity Gauntlet off Thanos and destroy it, there is no coming back from that.
Yeah. Also, Force choke from Shin, but Balin stops her, so he proves that he's
keeping his word.
Yeah, which again, I never doubted him.
No.
I don't know. He just like you said, he seems so honorable.
He does.
Next up, Balin talking about Ahsoka in the past tense.
Yeah,
my next note there.
Oh.
And then of course Hugh Yang gets in touch with Hera finally.
Yep. Well, yeah, she finally arrives in system.
Well, enough because he's been trying the whole time to get in contact with either Home One or someone. So he finally catches someone. Full on ghost action. Damn, she looked good in live action.
Yeah,
the ghost. And then Balin destroys the map after the download. And then Locke spoils an attack position. I figured you geeked out.
Just hook it to my veins!
I just want a show about X-Wings and fighting and dogfights and everything. Yes.
Like Rangers of the New Republic, you're hoping that gets revived. There's been a lot of rumors that they may actually try to revive that with Timothy Olyphant as just blanked on his name. In the one that had Boba Fett's armor.
Yeah.
God, Voss is stuck in my head. That's a fucking Jedi Master's name from the prequels.
The sheriff character from Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. There's been rumors that because it was supposed to be what's her name, Gina Carano's character that was going to lead that show, and so there's been rumors they might try to resurrect that show and just bring Timothy Olyphant's character. Which, dude, he's such a fucking amazing dude. I would love that. Please give me that.
Yes.
And then also we almost have a Haldo maneuver here.
Yeah.
Almost Haldo maneuvers the Rebels.
I thought that's what was going to happen. I thought we were going to get ships destroyed and everything. I mean, we did get a couple X-Wings destroyed.
2 of them, I think.
But I thought we were going to get, shit. They sliced right through a Super Star Destroyer?
Yeah.
In Last Jedi? I thought we were going to get, it's a ghost. It's tiny. It's
luckily,
little.
it was a ring.
Yeah, luckily it was a ring, so it wasn't solid.
Yeah. Also,
Carson survived, though, right?
Yeah, he did. I was really worried about him.
I was like, you better not. I know. Carson, don't you dare.
I was like, they better not. Again, and I should trust. It's Dave Filoni, but I've been hurt before.
Yeah. Why would you bring him in, right, if not to show him die?
And there's all these people like, well, somebody's gonna die to prove Thrawn's worth. So who's he gonna kill? And I'm just like, fuck y'all.
No one.
Yeah, because some people are like, oh, it's gonna be Hugh Yang. Thrawn's gonna kill him and stuff. And I'm like, bite your tongue. Jason having a bad feeling.
Never, ever. My last note here, aside from obviously talking about the ending, which I didn't need a note for. My last note, Jason. Listen, Star Wars fans. Characters never, ever, 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 ever say, I have a bad feeling about this and good things happen. It has never, ever happened.
Here's my thing, though, because I thought about you, but he doesn't say I have a bad feeling about this. He says I have a bad feeling.
That's the same thing.
No, because here's the thing. Clearly he's Force sensitive. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Yeah. Is he sensing the death of those 2 pilots? Has he been around death enough to catch that in the Force? Because 2 pilots just got killed. They're dead. And so he doesn't say I have a bad feeling about this. So it could go either way. It could be that he's like sensing the larger what just happened. Like, right? It's like after the snap for Thanos. Like there's that moment where everyone's like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what's going on? It could be that where it's like, oh my God, the door to Thrawn is potentially opened. Or there's part of me that's like, is this the first time he's experienced being around people that have died to where he's sensing their death?
No.
I think it might be, man. Because again,
it's not that. It's the classic Star Wars. I have a bad feeling about this. No, you don't ever say that, dude. You're telling me that you're gonna take this little bit, not entirely fantasy here, but out there left field theory that this is the first time he's ever experienced death, and that's him feeling it through the Force, versus Dave Filoni going, I have a bad feeling about this.
I just wonder why it's not the full line.
That's a little bit of a spin on it.
That's what made me wonder, is that it's not the full line, and the way he played it just felt like, I don't know. It was interesting.
Don't ever talk about bad feelings. You don't ever talk about bad feelings in Star Wars. I groaned when he said that.
I thought about you immediately.
I'm just like,
I love the spirit of it. So then we're getting back to Ahsoka over the edge. She is in the water as we get on one side of her, but then as it's going across, it changes.
Hey there, Snips.
So then we get, before that even, we get the World Between Worlds in live action.
Which is amazing, because that's where Ezra was when he saw Palpatine.
Yeah, and that's where Ezra saved Ahsoka. That's how she survived Vader. Ezra found his way in there, found that duel, pulled her out right before Vader got her, and that was that. So this is a huge thing, and it looked amazing in live action.
It was
too.
phenomenal.
So yeah, it's just absolutely fucking good. But I guess my questions before we get too far: how did she get into this? Because again, she was pulled by Ezra the first time.
How did Ezra get in there? In Rebels, the temple.
I think it was the temple.
There's entrances.
Because when he gets his lightsaber crystal, because I saw a thing with Filoni where he was actually talking about this exact thing, the World Between Worlds, and he's like, I wanted to create this from the very beginning because I needed something that would help tie the entire Force using galaxy together. And so, like,
what did you just say there?
When he gets his crystal in the very first season of Rebels, you see they don't play out the whole thing, but you see Ezra on a little disc when the thing's coming down, and it's space around him, and Filoni is basically saying that was me planting the seeds that I knew would eventually become the world between worlds. So it's like from season 1 of Rebels, he wanted this to exist. So
there's different entrances into the world between worlds.
Yeah.
And they're in places where the Force is particularly strong.
That's true.
So we have a temple on Lothal, for example.
Yeah.
Palpatine has one in his chambers somewhere because he's incredibly strong with the Force. He's going
to collect all this stuff too,
there.
Right?
Yeah, they're trying to collect the one from Lothal and everything.
Yeah.
This is where a map to the other side of another galaxy, 2 galaxies over, is able to be read. We have Purgils here who are very strong in the Force, respond to Ezra and everything like that. You're going to tell me that doesn't seem like the perfect place for a portal into the world between worlds?
Potentially. So my other thing I'm going to throw out there is Ahsoka dead?
No.
I think she might be. I think death brought her into this. Now, let me caveat here. Because remember in the end of Rebels, everyone has jokingly said that last scene when Ahsoka shows up, she's in white robes and stuff. Everyone's jokingly called that the Gandalf the White Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Gandalf fell.
Yeah.
And then died. And then was brought back as the white form. So it makes me wonder, when they recreated that scene in Rebel and in this show from Rebels, she wasn't dressed like that. So are we going to cycle back to that scene at another point with Ahsoka at the white, basically? And I don't mean to say that Ahsoka is dead and she's done with the show. I think she's dead to get in there, but I do think that she's going to come out of it, like Gandalf-ish type thing, where it's like a resurrection thing. And I also think that this World Between Worlds is how she's going to get to where Thrawn's at. I don't think she's coming back out. I think
that's absolutely how she's going to get to Thrawn. That thought crossed my mind as well. But I think that she's not dead, that she's going to reach out to Ezra, and Ezra's going to pull her out.
And that's what I've kind of want. But I'm just throwing out there. I don't even fully believe it, but I kind of think there is an option that Ahsoka is dead, and that's how she got in here. But then, as you already alluded to, hello Snips. I do have a picture.
Anakin motherfucking Skywalker.
The Return of the King, man.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen portraying Anakin Skywalker here. Not a Force ghost
No.
in the World Between Worlds.
Very much episode 3 Anakin here.
Did not expect to see you so soon, is what he says to her.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting chills. This is just...
Dude, unbelievable.
And then Anakin, I shouldn't say Anakin. Hayden Christensen, live action Anakin Skywalker, Ahsoka fucking Tano, live action, hello Snips. This is an absolute, I mean, we got to explain it if people haven't seen all the animated stuff. That's what he called her all through the Clone Wars. That was his nickname for her. People have wanted this for probably at least a decade or more, probably almost 15 years. People wanted, like, I want to see Anakin in live action talk to Ahsoka Tano and call her Snips. Like, it's a small thing, but it's just something that a lot of us love and adore. And to see it here in live action finally is... holy shit, man. And I didn't expect this.
Unreal.
Like, when this episode ended, I was like, okay, whatever, where I thought it ended. But then it came back to this. This is not... I actually had hopes that we'd see Anakin in this show. I really did. Apparently it was shown in one of the TV spots or something. Or that Anakin was involved. Not necessarily like a full-on reveal.
His line was given in the TV spot.
I haven't gone back to watch him yet. But either way...
That's what... I talked to our coworker about it, and he's like, did you watch the TV spot? And I'm like, no, I never did. And he's like, yeah, they had Anakin's fucking line in the TV spot in its entirety. Hey, Snips, didn't expect to see you so soon. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
What does that line mean? Didn't expect to see you so soon.
Yeah.
What is that?
Dude.
This is huge, though. We know kind of we kind of know what this World Between Worlds is. But yeah, there was a big kerfuffle online about it was Vader's lightsaber on his belt. I have looked as hard as I can. I actually do believe it is Anakin's saber. But it's that silver that goes along the whole length of it. The darkness of what's going on here is reflecting onto that, so it looks way darker through the whole saber. So people are thinking that it was Vader's saber, but it is. I am 99% sure that it is Anakin's saber, because the one part you can see that is silver is right in the middle, which is actually where there is a black band on Vader's saber in the middle of the saber. So I believe that is Anakin's saber. He does have the scar. That's another thing people have been complaining about, because there's a shadow on his face right where the scar is at. You could see it a little bit, but it's not easy to see. It's not like episode 3 where it's like fucking bright red. It's there, but then there's like a shadow that kind of hits his face there, so it's hard to see. But yeah, so I mean
so people are saying that he has Vader's lightsaber but looks like Anakin?
No. Yeah.
He never had Vader's lightsaber as Anakin.
I know, but there's
interesting.
Remember when when Ezra saw Palpatine in this realm, Palpatine was in white robes and was very episode 2-ish looking Palpatine. There is a deception that could be had in this realm. So there are people that, and honestly, let's not pussyfoot around too much. The last things we hear as this episode goes out is the Imperial March.
Is the dun dun dun.
So, and in fact, the Imperial March, the alternate title to the Imperial March is Vader's theme, and when you watch it with subtitles, that's what it says: is Vader's theme plays. My prediction of what's happening, I don't know what else you have to say here, but one prediction I have here: this is Darth Vader. This is not Anakin Skywalker.
You think it's Vader?
And I believe the reason, filmmaking wise, the reason why they did here is to let all of us fans revel in Hey Snips and that moment. But then when we get to the next episode, I think what we're going to end up seeing is we're going to see Ahsoka versus Vader in live action. We're going to see that, not necessarily the exact duel, but I think we are going to see hopefully an Obi-Wan show level duel with Ahsoka and Darth Vader. And because ultimately, here's the thing. Ahsoka, I don't think she has guilt about Vader. Vader tried to play guilt to her in the second season finale of Rebels, but I don't think that she has a lot of guilt. But I think there's a lot of trauma that she has over the fact that probably her most important person in her life went to the dark side, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think she's ever recovered from that. We saw it in Rebels. She reaches out, senses the darkness of Vader, and then suddenly she gets the sense of Anakin and she screams and faints. And I don't think she has ever recovered from that. And I think that the only way that she's going to be able to move forward is overcoming, like, not the guilt, because I think Obi-Wan had the guilt. I think for her, it's more of just the trauma of it. So I think for her to overcome the trauma, this is like that Gandalf moment. She needs to fight him and overcome the element of the Anakin on her shoulders. You know, Balin's already thrown it at her.
The thing that she's been carrying for years now.
Yeah, the thing exactly, and it's
the trauma that she's been carrying since episode.
And how did it happen? You know, all those things, like, not because, again, I think Obi-Wan has the guilt. We already saw that in Obi-Wan where he kind of overcame that guilt because Vader told him, "I'm not your mistake. You didn't kill Anakin, I did."
Yeah.
You know, so that freed Obi-Wan from his guilt. Ahsoka still has the baggage of Anakin Skywalker, and I think that and Darth Vader, and I really believe the reason that Filoni cut it when he did is so that we could all have this joy for a week before it comes crashing down, and it turns out this is fucking Darth Vader, and he's only portraying himself as Skywalker to get her guard down, kind of like Palpatine did with Ezra. This nice old man in these white robes, like, oh, help me this,
trust me,
yeah, like it's just that's what came to my head immediately. It is like just like Palpatine did. Now, how Anakin's in here, I do not believe Anakin Skywalker actually got into this realm, or Vader.
What if it's Palpatine?
Because if Anakin got this, would that not wouldn't that not consume him entirely? Because would he not try to use this to get back to Padme?
Yeah.
You would never see Darth Vader again, ever.
No.
He would live in this place trying to find a way to get back to Padme. Palpatine.
What if this is Palpatine? This is where he goes after he falls down the elevator shaft in Return of the Jedi.
I mean, it could be. Yeah. I don't know. I'm shooting a lot at you. Go ahead. You can throw in whatever you got to, but I just wanted to throw that out because I do believe this is Darth Vader.
I think you're right. I don't think that we have Anakin coming back for a joyful reunion and everything like that. I don't think Ahsoka gets that. Unfortunately, I think she's going to have to deal with that. She's going to have to deal with her issues with leaving Anakin right at the moment, you know.
The one of the most critical moments. She leaves him right before.
Obviously, she didn't know that.
No, but
when she left, but obviously it is the most critical moment in all of the galaxy for all we know.
And he played it against her.
Yeah.
In Rebels, like, why did you leave me and stuff?
I won't
like,
leave you again.
Yeah, so good stuff. Good stuff.
I won't leave you, not again. I mean, it's the quote on my board. There's a reason for that.
Yeah. All right. Any other? What else you got? Anything else?
So I had two notes.
I have some predictions I want to talk about as well.
So I have one question that I was going to ask earlier that I'm going to throw out there. Do you want Ezra alive or dead?
I think he's got to be alive. I know there's a lot of people talking about dead.
Like Thrawn had him executed or something.
Yeah, and I do think there is an outside chance where it's like when everyone's talking about, oh, you really want to get like Thrawn built up. Imagine if they come through and find out he executed Ezra within 5 minutes of getting over where they got.
Kill him and just he's dead.
Dude, Filoni would have some fucking balls, dude.
Yeah.
That would be some brass balls.
Okay,
to build the whole characters thing around finding this dude, and then you get there and he's dead. That would be brutal.
Again, I'm not asking you for a prediction. I'm just saying, what do you want? Because I could see you wanting it built up because then Thrawn's a badass.
Yeah.
That solidifies Thrawn and everyone can shut the hell up about Thrawn's, status and everything like that.
Yeah.
I can see you wanting that, but I can also see you wanting Ezra alive because for me, personally, I think the story's better if Ezra's alive and is captive and has been held captive all these years and imprisoned, and Thrawn found some way to suppress his force. A la Supergirl in Flash.
Flash, the movie.
In the movie. All of like that. I would think that's a better story than, he just iced Ezra.
One other thing I'm going to throw out there is, who's to say Ezra's a prisoner?
What if he's his apprentice?
And not even that he's like going bad, but what if it turns into a thing where it's just like
mutual survival?
Like imagine a prison ship that crashes on a desert island. Do the guards and prisoners still act like guards and prisoners?
X-Men, the original X-Men cartoon. I just spaced on both of their names. Magneto and Xavier get trapped in that dinosaur world.
Yeah.
And Xavier's able to walk again and everything like that. They just start instantly work. I mean, I know they're friends.
They already have a friendship built.
But
I just wonder,
something like that where it's like, hey, we're not going to survive if we don't work together, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of wonder if that could be a thing. Not that like Ezra is for the Empire by any means, but is it a thing where you're in kind of this weird realm where
if we don't, we
Empire
die.
and Republic and Rebellion, all this bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit where we're at now.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's like Skull Island. You know what I mean? But it could be something that's so fucking like out there that there's no. The other thing that I've kind of wondered about is it kind of gives a sense that Elsbeth has a line to Thrawn.
Mm-hmm.
Is that through Ezra?
Maybe the Force.
Ezra and the Force? that because the witches tie
Yeah.
into the Force quite a bit.
Yep.
So I wonder if Ezra is the long distance carrier of Thrawn.
That was my question, and then
I didn't really answer it. I think I would here's the problem. I don't mind him being alive, but I've already seen some people like, oh, he's going to be alive, and he's going to end up taking over Sabine's as her master to teach her the Force. And I'm like, I don't like that, and I don't think they should be relationship like romantic. I guess I just don't know where Ezra would fit in as well. I guess we're after the Empire and stuff, so it's not like we're getting to this realm of like, oh, there's too many Jedi. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm very indifferent. I don't really have a hard thing either way,
which is fine. It's just like Sabine and Ezra, if they are actually going to become a couple, if they're going to stay brother sister relationship, I'm the same way. Whichever, I don't care. Let's just see it, and let's see it done well, and then I'll be good.
Yeah.
The one other thing that I had to say, and this is an unpopular opinion, I'm sorry I'm dropping this right at the end of the episode because you're probably going to be mad at me. I want absolutely nothing for Balin's backstory. I want nothing ever to go into it. I want a mystery, and I want it left that way, period. End of story. No one ever explained another fucking thing about his past.
I want to see at least what he was in the Jedi, because there's also been some debate about like who was his master. Was it like,
Nope, I don't want to know.
No, I do.
No,
man.
I don't want to know. You want to know why? Because I'm sick and fucking tired of them explaining bad guys to where they lose some of their appeal.
And I don't think that loses appeal, because I think some of the
but sometimes it does.
It won't for him, because so much of the appeal for him is he's not just this.
You can't say that universally for everyone. For me, him being mysterious is way better than
no, but
anything
what I mean is
explain.
the fact that we've already talked about that he's honorable and all this other stuff. Like, and also what's his motives? Because I don't know that it's actually Thrawn. I kind of wonder if he's a hired gun, but there's all this stuff he talks about, like power beyond what you could, some stuff he said to Shin. Like, I kind of wonder what his end game is.
Which is fine. I want to see his end game. I want to see how it plays out in this story. But the whole he survived Order 66 and how did he do it and how did he fall and everything like that. Nope, don't care.
Yeah, I do.
I don't care. His story should start from landing on that New Republic thing, saying that he's a Jedi, and end with where it ends in Ahsoka. I don't want any backstory.
Yeah, no, I don't want I don't need like all of Order 66 and all this other shit. I just show me like him during the Republic. Show me who his master was. Show me what kind of apprentice he was. Because that'd be kind of a cool way to like. It also like retroactively gives like some credibility. It'd almost be cool if it was like an actual character from the prequels, like some background Jedi that we saw. It would be cool. I don't think they will, but like those kind of things, 'cause it helps like really solidify everything. And then he's just a fascinating character.
I think the mystery is way better for me. I think that they're over explaining too much in Star Wars.
Oh, I don't know about that.
And everything.
For me,
and
the mystery box J.J. Abrams shit is well overdone for me, especially because J.J. hardly ever pays off his mystery boxes. So
that's where I feel the problem is that too often we get the backstory and it's less than what everyone wants. So leave it a mystery and let everyone build it in their head canon, and that's it. I mean, come on. Episodes 4, 5, and 6, we didn't have Vader's backstory, and how great of a character was he? Now, Lucas went back and told the story in episodes 1, 2, and 3, and it turned out great. But a lot of people didn't like it. So I'm just saying, I want Balin's backstory left alone. Give me his future, give me Shin and everything like that. I'll allow you to go back to where he meets up with Shin and starts training her and everything. But anything Republic, anything Jedi for him, I don't want it. I would prefer not to see it.
See me, I don't even care about his fall. I don't care about his finding Shin. I don't care about all I want to see is just show me what he looked like as a Jedi, and then maybe even throw some small hints where people can fill in, because like all that middle stuff, I'm with you. I don't really care. Like just let him show up. He has this apprentice now. Suddenly he's a fallen Jedi. But I would love some initial Republic era to show me like what kind of Jedi was he? Like who was his master?
I feel like we already have enough. He met Anakin Skywalker. That's enough for me.
And I don't even want to see him meet Anakin. Nothing like that. I just want to, because like again,
that's what I'm worried about. Is like you're kind of agreeing with me a little bit. I'm here, you're here, but I feel like every other fan is going to want everything filled in. They want all of the Wikipedia filled out. They want his date of birth. They want his social security number. They want his blood type. They want to know what his mom's name was. They want to know what his dad's name was. They want to know how many siblings he had. They want to know when he was indoctrinated into the Jedi. When did he fall? When did he build his first lightsaber? Who was his master? Who was his best? No, none of that. Give me the mystery. Why can't we have mysterious bad guys anymore? Why does everything have to be explained to the full extent that we have now?
usually makes them more interesting.
No, it's so much better when they're mysterious.
Snoke was garbage, and there is no explanation there. He was just a mystery box, and it was garbage. Like, it's just...
Yes, but Vader was also mysterious, and we never got that filled in.
He was, yeah, we did in the second
Not
movie.
in 4, 5, and 6 was done.
In 5, I'm your father. Oh, shit, now he's Anakin Skywalker.
Okay, but we don't know anything else. We don't know when he became a Jedi or anything like that. I'm not saying don't give me nothing. I'm saying don't give me everything.
Yeah, and I don't think
and that's my problem.
I don't
is
think,
that when they do,
I don't
they
think
always give everything.
I don't think so. I think, like I said, I think one episode of Tales from the Jedi, just showing me him in the Jedi era, and that's it. Let all the rest of it, how he felt. Maybe throw some seeds in there where he's just like, whatever. But no, don't go hardcore. And they wouldn't. There's no way to do it because Ray Stevenson passed away. They're never going to make like a full show for him.
Unless they recast a younger version.
The only way that they would maybe do it is like comic books and novels, which most people don't care about. The people that care about it. The most of us don't even know any of it exists. So that's the only people that would go to the extent you're talking about, though. What I'm talking is just give me an episode where, hey, it's fucking Plo Koon's his fucking master, because we've never seen Plo Koon with an apprentice, which would be kind of cool to plug that in and then like show him as a Jedi, show him on a mission, and it's like that's it. And it's just like cool. Now it's like there's nothing. Now all we know is he just shows up as his old man with a dark Jedi apprentice, and like that's what I want. Like a little bit just to give me some context, and then leave most of the mystery to just that he comes up as his badass where he's like.
I just don't feel that that's needed. Then I don't feel like why is that needed? I mean, yeah, if you're looking to fill an episode for Tales of the Jedi, fine. I can understand the logic there, but I don't feel that it's needed for this character. You were literally saying in this episode how great of a character he is already, so we don't need it.
No, but inherent in all that is I want to know more about him. That's I don't know if maybe I forgot to say that part, but I want to know as much as I can about this guy because he's one of the best. He's maybe the best villain that they've had since certainly since Lucas's era. I don't know if they've come up with a villain better in this Disney era or not. Thrawn doesn't count because he existed before. But prediction wise, you got any predictions?
No, I'm focused on Balin right now, so I can't think of anything.
So I've got 3 things. I think Shin is going to betray Balin and kill him, and she is going to go full evil with Elsbeth. I think it's going to end up with 2. And I think that they've already planted some seeds where he's this, noble stand-up. He is a fallen Jedi, but he's not an evil motherfucker. She is, though. I think they've given us enough to where she is not aligned with him.
Force choke.
Yeah, there's some different things where she does not align with him. I think there's going to become a point when Elsbeth is like, take him out, then it's you and me. And I think it's going to happen. I think that's how he goes out. I think fucking Shin's going to betray him and kill him. I think the majority of next episode might just be Ahsoka and Anakin. I think, and an outside 10% chance we don't see anyone else, but 90% chance we might see at the very end see like Hera but I think a good chunk of this episode is going to be maybe jumping around the timeline with Ahsoka and Anakin and this struggle and Vader, whatever. If we're going to get what I want, the Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and Anakin trio in Clone Wars era live action, it's going to be in this because you can go through this to like whether it's a flashback or whatever, but it'll be in this episode. So this next episode, dude, we already talked about it. It's going to be screened theatrically. It's going to be fucking huge. But then my last one, I do think the timeline of this show is before Book of Boba Fett. So I do not think that Ahsoka has met Luke Skywalker at the time of this show.
Or Grogu.
Correct.
But she has met Mandalorian in season 2.
Because remember the way that the timeline lines out. I think the end. I think the end, not whether it's the end. I think she's going to meet Luke in this show. I think that's too big of a moment to have just happened off screen, and she just shows up to grab Grogu and I'll take him to Luke Skywalker. I think we've got to see that meeting, and I think it's going to be in the show because there's some play with like the couple years that have taken place during the course of the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett that I think this show slides in, or they're going to do some weird time thing where I do think we're going to see the meeting of Luke Skywalker and Ahsoka.
Which means that Grogu would be in Ahsoka. Potentially.
The meeting could be before she could meet Luke and then later find Grogu and they're like, okay, I got to go bring him to Luke Skywalker. But I do think that initial meeting, I think it's going to be in this show. So those are my predictions. But that is it for this episode. I'm geeked on this show. I don't know about you, but this is the best thing that Disney has done show wise. I'm not going to compare it against the movies, but
No.
this blows everything else out of the water.
No, Ahsoka's good, but it's not Mandalorian.
This is better than Mandalorian for me. I mean, we haven't finished it yet. They can stumble and trip over but where we're at right now, this is way more of what I've wanted out of Star Wars than Mandalorian for me and personally. And I love Mandalorian. It's not to shit on anything else. This show is like knocking my socks off. And even Obi-Wan, I had a high expectation for, and the high moments of that have been great. But this show so far has been great. I love the additional characters.
Again, not saying that Ahsoka's not bad, but Mandalorian changed Star Wars. It revolutionized Star Wars to galvanize a fan base back to loving it again. Ahsoka didn't do that. Ahsoka's still dividing people and everything like that. I think that
there's still people divided on Mandalorian. Everyone's shitting on season 3, and there's all kinds of other bullshit.
But seasons 1 and 2 still exist, though. I mean, that's the thing. Season 1 of Mandalorian is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. But I think this is better so far. I think this is filling some voids that were left by Clone Wars and Rebels, and it's tying into. And I've always loved the Jedi stuff more. The Jedi Force stuff has always been more interesting to me. When I was a kid, I loved Empire, but there would be times I'd fast forward past the Han stuff because I'm like, just get me to Luke and Yoda and then Vader. I've always loved that shit. So this show is scratching an itch for me that Mando I love Mando, but I've always been more of a Jedi guy than, even though I love Boba Fett and bounty hunters and stuff, but like the Jedi stuff has always been the tops for me. So loving this. So next time we've got first of all, if you want to email us, you can email us at peter@geekeryabides.com or tadd @geekeryabides.com. We will be back in 2 weeks for episodes 5 and 6. Really excited to see what
episode 5.
5 is the big one. So that will be episode 17. We'll be back on September 23rd to talk about those 2 episodes. And then 2 weeks from then, we will be in Las Vegas talking about the final 2 episodes of Ahsoka. So this has
taking
been
the show on the road.
Yeah, for first time ever. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see. What do you think next time? 60% of this show we're going to talk about.
Oh, it's going to be 75-25.
Well, we don't know what 6 is going to be, but 5. Oh my God, man.
They're releasing 5 in theaters, sir. I mean, let's be perfectly honest.
And also, Filoni's the master of it all. He's the boss.
Yep.
And he was the one that looked
at
the
mastermind. He's the puppet
he's the
master.
He's the one that looked at a board and went. Okay, I'm going to do 2 episodes.
That one and this one.
Like, I'm going to take the first one to kick the show off, and then he's picking this one for another. Kind of like when they announced that, was it season 2 when Ahsoka first showed up of Mando?
Yeah.
And like, so when it was like Dave Filoni's directing this episode, I'm like, that's where Ahsoka's showing up. Why would he direct an episode unless it's the one that shows up? So, yeah, I'm really excited for that one. But, yeah, we'll be back in a couple weeks, in a fortnight, for Ahsoka's parts 5 and 6. Let us know what you guys thought. If you want to send emails about any of your feedback, we'd love to hear that. We already put the emails up, and we'll be back then. But as we always sign off, we will sign off with, as we always do, by saying love what you love, and to hell with anyone that disagrees with you on that.
See you, Snips.
All right. That is it for the podcast. Thank you on the YouTube side. Always good fun to chat some. I didn't realize I still had the picture up. To chat some Star Wars. These goddamn 2 screens fuck me up every time. Always good to talk Star Wars. We're light on Star Wars to start, but we're making up for lost
going
ground.
hard now.
So we'll see you guys in a fortnight.
Bye, everyone.